We're excited.
Promising, if I can use that word.
I think you can. I think you're old enough.
You know, I mean, we had enough rain early this morning with the thunder, the lightning, and really coming down. And then, of course, at, 12 o'clock, the sun came out, and I was, beautiful day for a ball game. So here we are now, though.
Let's talk a little bit about last night. Last night was pretty fun, wasn't it? It went rather quick as the Irishman, McGuff, was on the mound, 8 innings, no hits. No, I think he allowed a couple hits, 6 hits, and 4 hits, and he had 11 strikeouts. 11 strikeouts last night for McGuff. He was just spectacular, and I think that's what helped set the tone for the Otters yesterday, and Ryan Long was able to get things started on the offensive end, hitting his 5th home run of the season. Just what were your thoughts? I know we talked about it a little bit last night, but what were your thoughts of last night? I think McGuff really set the tone for the Otters yesterday.
McGuff, yes, he started out by striking out the first batter with a high fastball, which a guy chased, and so we had the first out was a strike. Well, then the next batter got up and he unleashed a ball that went to right center, jumped on that fastball, and then of course, the Irishman got out of that inning. However, what Patty was doing was throwing fastballs. Every batter, the first pitch would be a fastball, and the first 2 or 3 innings, they jumped on that fastball. Then he changed his philosophy a little. They worked the slider, worked the curveball, and he was most effective.
Yep.
McGuff has a terrific curveball. He don't use it as much as he should. However, he knows what he's doing. I mean, I'm a Monday morning quarterback. But the thing is, Patty has an outstanding fastball, curveball, slider, and he used every one of them effectively last night.
Yep, and I think the Otters, I think the other key for them, not only was McGuff pitching, but they were able to hit timely with runners in scoring position. They were 2 for 3 with scoring runs with runners in scoring position. I think that was big. Yes, the opposing pitcher, Mr. Michael Austin, he pitched just as well. It's just that the Wild Things weren't able to touch McGuff on the offensive end. Austin pitched well enough to win. He only allowed 2 runs, the RBI single from Castro and the solo home run from Ryan Long, and then J.J. Gould came up in the 7th inning with an RBI single, his 2nd RBI of the season. And I think timely hitting will be important for the Otters, as they are, when they score first, they have a record of, I'm trying to see, I wrote this down earlier. When the Otters score first, they have a record of 6-1. So I think that's pretty important to set the tone, preferably within the first 4 innings. If they score at least 1 run in those 4 innings, I think they have a really good success rate as well. Today, we have Austin Nicely on the mound. He is 0 for 3 with an ERA 11.85, but he hasn't pitched as bad as his statistics show. The Otters have not scored enough runs when he's pitched, and at the same time, he's allowed, after the first game where he allowed 9 runs in 2 innings of work, he had a no-hitter through 4 innings against Florence, ultimately in a loss to the Florence Freedom again, where the Otters didn't score enough runs for him. And then he pitched the Game 3 of the Gateway Series, which was the day after that extra inning affair where the Otters scored 14 runs. The Otters weren't able to score as much for Nicely that day. I didn't see the walk one too many batters, and I think he's going to be working on that in his 4th start. He's a veteran guy. He's a guy you want to have on your ball club. He had 20 starts for the team last year, and I think he's really focused on locating his fastball. I think that's when he's successful, and he likes to put the ball in play for his defense to do the job. So what are you looking forward to with Nicely starting today?
Well, with any pitcher, Dave, all I'm looking for is command and control. As you say, he's got 11 strikeouts for 13 innings, but he also has 11 walks.
Right.
And out of those base hits that he's given up, 10 of them have been for extra bases. So that's telling you that they're not cheap little singles. They're pretty hard hit balls.
Right.
And but you've got to, any pitcher, he's got to come out there and you've got to pitch with your best. You know, just because you're a fastball pitcher, you don't want to use the fastball 9 out of every 10 pitches. You know, when the Padres had their relief pitcher, he had a good fastball and a good curveball and a change. But yet,
Hoffman, right? Trevor Hoffman?
No, I'm talking about the Padres when they won the pennant.
Okay.
Anyway, all he ever did was, in other words, what I'm trying to say is it's like Ted Williams. Ted Williams, they moved the entire team over between first and second. He would not hit to left field because he was going to challenge. If you're challenging me, I'll challenge you. So therefore, he still hit 300 and 350, 360. Same way with Goose Gossage, the pitcher. Okay, Goose figured he could strike everybody out. He was not going to throw anything but fastballs. Now, in the 1984 World Series, there was a guy that played here a couple of these seasons. I mean, he cold-cocked one out of the ballpark in Detroit, and that was the end of the Padres. But you can get by with fastballs, but you've got to use some other pitch.
Right. No, I completely agree. I had a chance to talk to Nicely earlier. Yesterday, we're going to hear his interview in a few moments. And he will be going up against another lefty, in John Havard, who pitched for the Traverse City Beach Bums last year. He's 1-1 against the Otters last year. In Traverse City, he lost where he pitched 2 innings, allowed 8 hits, 7 earned runs, and 8 runs total with 2 walks and a strikeout. And then the next week, he came back to Bosse Field and won against the Otters, where he went 7 innings, allowed 3 hits, an earned run, and 6 strikeouts. With Traverse City not being in the league, he was able to get picked up by the Washington Wild Things and has been a pretty good addition for them thus far. He is 0-1 with a 5.06 ERA, and he has 11 strikeouts through 16 innings of work so far. We'll get to Austin Nicely and with my conversation with him in just a moment as you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loan and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
Now let's go inside the clubhouse for today's one-on-one with the Evansville Otters.
Dave Newman here with starting pitcher Austin Nicely. Austin, thank you for joining me. Now, we're about 15, 16 games into the season. How do you feel the team has played? Obviously, it's still early.
I think we played, pretty well. I think even better than kind of our record kind of shows. Really like the guys we have, and I think that we're a couple plays or a couple pitches or a couple hits away from being kind of right there at the top and kind of even almost running away from some teams.
Now, specifically yourself,
We'll forget about your first start because that was a disaster overall. You've pitched well in your last 2 starts heading into this one. What have you been working on? I mean, you had a no-hitter through 4 innings in your second start, just that the team offensively couldn't provide enough run support for you. So I feel like you've been working, kind of locating your fastball. What are the things that you've been working on to try to get better since that first Sunday of opening weekend?
Definitely trying to clean up, kind of all my pitches. Felt a little rusty, which is kind of not like me to feel kind of rusty early in the year. But, kind of 3 starts in and it feels like, we kind of just started. So it kind of gets up on you quick. And trying just to be able to just gain command, not hit the panic button, I think is the biggest thing. Because, I don't know, I couldn't tell you last time I was 0-3 with, over a 10 or whatever it is. So definitely just kind of same preparation that has kind of gotten me to this point, and just grinding it out because it's a long year. And, the first 3 games of any season definitely doesn't make up the full season.
Now, over this previous road trip that we had, the pitchers collectively, there are times when the pitchers have done well, and other times a few guys haven't done well on the mound, giving up a lot of runs. As a veteran guy on this pitching staff, what can you tell the younger guys as far as keeping their head in it, realizing that it is a long season? Because mistakes have been made, but our staff, I feel, is better than what statistics have shown on bad days.
Yeah, a lot of it should come from example, which I haven't been. Haven't done that part, so that's part of my job too, is cleaning up myself to kind of set the expectations a little higher. And then just, it is a long year. Last year we kind of were in the same boat. We kind of started out hot, but then we hit like just a kind of mediocre streak. So trying not to get too high or too low, and just trying to win every series. We don't have to sweep every series. It's always a bonus, especially when you get up 2 games. You always want to get the 3rd one, which I didn't do, in my last start. But being able just to continuously put in the work every day and then just kind of control what you can control and let everybody else do their job, and we'll be fine.
Now, being a leader on this team, you had the most starts on the team last year. Do you embrace the leadership role as someone for the younger guys or the inexperienced guys to look up to?
Yeah, I think that's somewhere that I fit in. I feel comfortable there. Like I said, one of the biggest things is just by example, being able to just to, prove that, I did start the most starts, and trying to be the most consistent. That's the biggest thing, and that's something that I'm trying to bounce back to, is get back on just the roll of every 5th or 6th day, whenever you get the ball, and just be able to continuously put in the work, and kind of show the guys that, it is whatever it is here, 100 games. So you're going to get, for me, I was lucky enough to get the ball, I guess, 20-some times last year. So, 1 outing, 2 outings, 3 outings isn't going to make up your 20. But they do kind of come upon you quick. So if you don't kind of get it in gear, you're sitting 10 starts in and you're not looking where you want to be. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just kind of get a hold of it while you can get a hold of it, and then just, grind it out, throughout the year.
Austin Isley, thank you so much for your time. We'll get the starting lineups and first pitch. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Bossy Field. Dave Dwin and Bill McCune here on the call. Bill, hopefully we're going to start this game, and we'll see how far it'll go due to the weather. We hope to get in at least 5 or 6 innings, we hope. Today's starting lineups, batting first, playing second base for the Otters, will be David Cronin. Batting second, playing left field for the second time, will be Keith Grieshaber. Batting third, playing third base, Ryan Long. Batting fourth, playing designated hitter tonight, will be Dakota Phillips. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Carlos Castro. Batting sixth, first time this year batting sixth, will be Rob Calabrese, and he'll be catching tonight. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 21, Mitchell Hansen. Batting eighth, playing center field, number 3, Jack Meggs, making his 4th start in center field this season. Batting ninth, the shortstop, J.J. Gould, and on the mound, the lefty, Austin Nicely. For the Washington Wild Things, who come in with a record of 4-13, the Otters have a record of 9-7. Batting first, the center fielder, Sage Jenko. Batting second, the third baseman, Wander Franco. Batting third, the second baseman, Shane Hughes. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Hector Roa. Batting fifth, the first baseman and a switch hitter, J.J. Fernandez. Batting sixth, the catcher, Lucas Herbert. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Cody Erickson. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Blake Adams. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 1, Brett Maher. And on the mound, the lefty, John Havard. We got the managers out meeting at home plate to discuss lineups. The Otters will be wearing their home whites again. And I got to say, the Otters look really classy with their white uniforms on.
I tell you, I repeat myself constantly. White uniforms at home, gray on the road. Some of the most successful teams in baseball, the Brooklyn Dodgers or the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, they wear grays on the road, whites at home, and they've been in existence for quite a few years.
Right, just a bit. And we're going to get to the national anthem shortly, but I think in order for the Otters to be successful, we may have talked about it earlier, but let's talk about it again. I think they need to hit the ball early and often. They need to get runners on base early and often, and they need to score those runners early and often within the first 4 innings, because pitchers tend to pitch better when they have a lead rather than when they don't have a lead, correct? Does that make any sense?
Yes, except I played with a guy named George Edwards. That philosophy didn't go.
Okay.
You'd give him 10 runs in the first inning, and I'll tell you the second inning it'd be 10-10.
I think the Otters, have been successful when they've given their starting pitchers leads. We're about to get to the national anthem, and when we come back, it will be first pitch from Bossy Field between the Evansville Otters and the Washington Wild. Thanks for listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility
Keith Grieshaber making his second start in left. And on the mound, the lefty, Austin Nicely, coming in with a 0-3 record and a 11.85 ERA. But the thing, Bill, is that the Otters have not scored particularly well with Nicely on the mound. When Nicely has been on the mound this season, the Otters have only scored 2 runs on 7 hits in his 3 starts. So they look to give him some more run support tonight.
In other words, they've starved him.
Yes.
2 runs in 3 games. My goodness. I'd apply for welfare.
It'll bring up first batter, Mr. Sage Jenka, who was 0 for 4 last night and was struck out twice to McGuff and also had a walk. Nicely from the center of the pitcher's mound. He'll kick and fire for the first pitch of the game. That's to be a ball high, moving the count to 1-0. That was high and way outside.
Yeah, and no velocity at all. I mean, that was like a 78-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 1-0 fly ball, left field. Grieshaber going back towards the warning track, and he will make the catch for out number 1.
That ball carried. You look at that flag out there, and it's blowing briskly to left. I think that ball carried an extra 20, 30 feet.
So should we expect if the ball is drifting to left field, guys might pull it over the fence?
I would say so.
Alrighty.
I'd bet the ranch.
It'll bring up the third baseman, number 13, Wander Franco, who led off with a double last night, as you mentioned earlier in the pregame show.
Yeah, first pitch.
He rips this first pitch, and it'll be foul, way foul down the first base line, and a long strike 1.
So now, if you're keeping a record, catchers generally keep records in their computer, in their head.
The 0-1 will be fouled and rolled towards the dugout of the Otters on the first base side.
Catchers should be, and that is you record everything the batter does. Now you know where Franco comes up. Hey, don't give him a fastball in the first pitch.
The 0-2 nicely will, that appeared to be a strike, but instead it's a ball just missing the outside corner.
Yeah.
Count now at 1-2 with 1 out. Nicely will kick and fire in the 1-2. Be a ball outside once more. Evening the count at 2, 1 out. We got some cloudy skies here. Wind, as you mentioned, Bill, moving towards the left in left field. So Keith Grieshaber is going to be on the hop. The 2-2. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. A base hit past Ryan Longan, shortstop J.J. Gould, and that'll be the first hit of the day.
Started off last night's game with a double, and he starts tonight off with a single.
And that'll bring up Shane Hughes, who's 1 for 3 yesterday with a double. And Shane Hughes, I found out during my research, he's from the same hometown as I am.
Really?
Yes.
And you didn't know him?
I did not.
I hope you said hello.
Well, they didn't warm up on the field earlier today, I think precaution for the rain.
Okay.
I'll make sure to introduce myself when I can. The first pitch to Hughes is a base hit that'll drop through the hole on the right center field. And that runner from second base will head to third standing. And now the Wild Things have runners on first and third with 1 out.
I just observed something, Dave, when Franco, who was on first base, saw that was going over the second baseman's head, and he just motored, and he looked over at the manager there, and he was just waving him on, so that's why he went into third base easily.
And that ball,
heads-up ball.
That ball kind of died. There might be some puddles out there in the outfield. The Otters need to be careful.
Well, that's true.
That'll bring up Hector Roa, who's from Canton, New Jersey. The first pitch to Roa, fly ball and go foul into the seats down the first base side. Count now at 0-1.
Again, I mentioned it last night. I'll mention it again tonight. These guys jump on the first pitch.
That's what I was about to say. If they see a first pitch pitch strike, they're not afraid to swing at it.
And Calabrese's coach catching last night.
He'll set up inside, and that'll be a swing and a miss for strike 2.
I was going to say Calabrese was catching last night, and he's catching tonight, and maybe that's his philosophy on every first pitch to a batter, call for a fastball, because that's what it seems to be. Fastballs every first pitch.
Runners are first and third for the Wild Things. 1 out, top of the first, no score. The 0-2 from Nicely will be fouled once more down the first base side, and looked like Roa was reaching out there on the outside corner, thinking that it was going to be a strike.
Well, he was protecting the plate. He had two strikes, no balls, and he was protecting that plate, which you should be with 2 strikes. Hey, anything that's close, you better start swinging.
Nicely checks the runner at first. From the belt, the 0-2 will be foul once more. I believe that might be the 5th pitch of the at-bat.
You know, there was a ball player that played here back in 1957 with the old Evansville Braves, and he got called out more times on a 3rd strike, and he used to argue, the umpires don't know the strike zone. He didn't know it.
Nicely the 0-2. Fly ball, and we'll go foul once more, and we'll get the 7th pitch of the at-bat.
You know, when the ball is close to that plate, whether it's a ball or a strike, it's not you who decides, it's the umpire. So don't rely on the umpire saying ball.
Mm-hmm.
Protect it, swing like this guy is doing right now.
Roa, the right-handed batter. That pitch will be low for a ball. Count now at 1-2.
That was a good block by Calabrese. That bounced about 2 feet in front of home. He blocked it with his chest. That's why they wear chest protectors.
Yeah, no, I think Calabrese shows some grit as he's from Staten Island.
Did we ever find out where?
I was going to ask him today, but due to the rain precaution, the guys never warmed up for batting practice on the field today.
Yeah, right.
I never got back to the cages in time. Men on first and third, 1 out, and this pitch will be foul behind Calabrese. Still the count at 1-2.
He is making Mr. Nicely pitch. I know it's four foul balls anyway.
11 strikes, 4 balls, and there'll be 15 pitches so far for Nicely. A double play would be nice here. Gould and Cronin playing at double play depth. Long playing behind the third base bag. Castro holding the runner at first. Ground ball will go through past Gould on the left side. That'll be a base hit and an RBI single for Hector Roa. The Wild Things are on the board by a score of 1-0.
Now, I'm going to say something. You're going to hear me say it all year long, and I'm going to say it now. That's 3 base hits in a row. 1 run has scored. This is when you get somebody up in the bullpen just to play toss so that you can put the fire out before it burns the barn down.
Before you call the fire department, right?
That's right.
To bring up the first baseman, the switch hitting J.J. Fernandez.
You see, when you get guys that are swinging and getting base hits, it's telling you one thing. That pitcher's not missing many bats.
1-0 Wild Things. Runners are first and second. We're in the top of the first. RBI single by Roa. Roa the man at first. Hughes the man at second. And Calabrese will walk out to his pitcher Nicely. Try to talk things over. Nicely already has 16 pitches in this inning, and we don't have 2 outs.
Well, what Calabrese might have done, I'm not saying, I'm just guessing, he might have went out and told that Nicely we're changing the signs because there's a runner on second and he's stealing the signs. So we'll go to another sign.
The first pitch, fly ball will drop for a base hit in the left field for the Grieshaber. He throws it. A strong throw from left field by Keith Grieshaber will hold the runner at third, but now the bases are loaded with 1 out, and we have now 4 straight singles.
Right. And again, I don't see anyone warming up. Again, that is, we always wait until the barn burns down before you call the fire department.
I'm going to bring up Lucas Herbert, who was 1 for 4 yesterday with a single, but he also had his last at-bat a strikeout, and that's important because when he struck out, when McGuff struck him out last night, he was so aggravated that he broke his bat, jamming it on home plate 3 times, breaking the bat, and eventually was thrown out of the game. First pitch from Nicely. Bases loaded.
Fast.
1 out. 1-0 Wild Things, and that'll be a fastball on the outside corner. Called for a ball. Count moving to 1-0.
And again, a fastball. Fastball, fastball, fastball.
Nicely could use a double play right here. The 1-0. will be in the dirt inside for a ball. Count moving to 2-0. That would be the 18th pitch, or the 19th pitch of this inning.
If this man gets on with a base hit or a walk, Max should get out there, have someone warming up, go out and talk to the pitcher, let the guy warm up a little more.
The 2-0, nicely from the belt. Ground ball past Cronin. That'll be a base hit, scoring at least one run, and that's all it'll do. RBI single for Lucas Herbert. That'll bring in another run. Hughes will come around from third, and now it's a 2-0 Wild Things lead. We're still in the top of the first.
And bases are loaded. 2 runs have scored. We got 1 out. There's 4 straight hits, or 5 straight hits, and we have no action. What we're waiting for, I don't know.
Maybe the rain.
Well, no, that's one of the stories. We always get ourselves in a hole, and we let it keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper to the point that you can't dig yourself out.
Bring up the 7th batter, the designated hitter Cody Erickson. First pitch to Erickson is low inside for a ball. Count at 1-0.
You know, one of the fans was telling me the other day, Dave, he said, talking just like we are now about allowing so many runs in the first inning and nothing happening. And the fan said to me, there must be a rule in this league that
the 1-0 from Nicely will be a ball upstairs. Count moving to 2-0.
There must be a rule that the starting pitcher must pitch, no matter what the situation, at least 4 innings. And when he's got a good thought there, because we do. We let too many runs in the first inning, second inning, without doing anything.
Here will be the 23rd pitch of the inning. It'll be a called strike on the outside corner. Count now at 2-1 to Erickson, who's making his first appearance in this series. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-0 Wild Things after 5 straight singles. Nicely kicks and fires from the belt. That'll be low and inside. Count moving to 3-1.
Again, I'm going to repeat myself. If this guy gets on, Max, please go out. Do something.
I think we're both praying for a double play. Gould and Cronin playing a double play depth towards second base. Long playing in front of the third base bag. The 3-1 fly ball. Left field, Grieshaber taking a couple steps back. He'll make the catch for out number 2. That'll score Roa from third. It'll be a sacrifice fly and 3-0 Wild Things. The Wild Things have been successful in the middle game of a 3-game series. They have a winning record in the middle game of a 3-game series.
How many pitches is Nicely thrown now?
Nicely, that would have been
26.
26, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I called it?
Yes. First time's a charm for you, Bill.
Yeah.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Blake Adams. I think who was the DH last night. First pitch to Adams, a swing and a miss for strike 1.
A high fastball. Again, every batter, the first pitch is a fastball.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Sac fly by Erickson extended the Wild Things lead to 3-0. 3 runs on 5 hits. Nicely checked the runner at second base. The 0-1 called a ball outside. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs.
I'm going to ask you, how many, to your knowledge, how many breaking pitches has Nicely thrown?
Maybe 1.
That's right.
Maybe 1.
Maybe 1. Everything's fastball, fastball, fastball.
Fly ball fouled down the first base side. Moves the count to 1-2. And if we could need a third strike, it would be now.
It'd be nice if we got the third strike, yes, and stop the rally.
We got a good crowd on hand tonight here at Bossy Field. We got a lot of young children with moms and dads here, as it's a good night for a baseball game. A lot of smiles on the kids' faces, too. Men on first and second. Nicely will kick and fire. And this pitch is foul behind the catcher, Calabrese, keeping the count at 1-2.
That was a good fastball right down the middle, and he just got under it a little, bringing the ball back to us into the screen. But that was a good fastball, had a little life to it. But again, a fastball.
Nysa takes a deep breath on the mound. With runners on first and second, he'll check the runner at second base. 1-2 the count with 2 outs, and the pitch. Ground ball to Gould. Throws it over to Cronin at second for the force out, and that'll end the inning. 8 men were sent to the plate. 3 runs were scored. As we head to the bottom of the first, 3-0 Wild Things. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the tri-state, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North First Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Don't wait until the building burns down before you call the fire company.
Welcome back to Bossy Field here in Evansville, Indiana, where the Otters find themselves down by a score of 3-0 as we enter the bottom of the first. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call, and we got to thank Mr. Paul Mattingly back in the studio with his infamous drop-ins and all the technical stuff that he does to make this an interesting broadcast.
I tell you what, I don't know what we do without Paul. I mean, in his comments and the way he controls the game from the stadium, or studio, rather.
First pitch to Cronin is a called strike on the inside corner. Cronin batting .231 this year, 2 RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .339. Havard, starting pitcher, the lefty. Lefty on lefty matchup. Cronin will ground this one to third. Bobbled, but still thrown in time for out number 1. The third baseman, Franco, is playing on the edge of the third base grass, or the infield grass, I should say. So he played it on a quick hop and threw it over the first in time. If he's played it a few steps back, Cronin has good enough speed, and it may have been a closer play at first.
That's true. That's true.
So we'll bring up Keith Grieshaber, the left fielder, and if Otters fans don't know, Keith is playing left field because the guy who was originally going to play there was signed by the Mets, and we want to congratulate Taylor Lane for getting signed by the New York Mets today. He was stellar in his 11 games that he played here with the Otters. He was one of their leading hitters on the road trip recently, and we just want to wish him the best of luck. Grieshaber with an 0-1 count. He'll ground this one to second base. Hughes charging it and throwing over to first base will be in time. Fernandez needed to stretch out there to make the catch in time, and that'll be 2 quick outs.
You know, while we got a chance, Dave, I'd like to say hello to Lucas Carley down there in outside of Louisville on the Indiana side. Lucas was our radio announcer here in 2017, a great friend of Zane Kotfeller, who mentioned that he is now a listener. So, Lucas, good to have you on board.
First pitch to long as he shows bunt as a ball inside. And I guess I got some big shoes to fill between Sam and Lucas.
And
so
Mike. Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure on me, right?
No way.
Lucas, we appreciate you listening in and hope everything's all right. Next pitch to Ryan Long is fastball on the inside corner. Count now even at 1.
Well, Lucas left here in 2017, and last year he was announcing for the Chattanooga Lookouts, which is Double-A, and there's a base hit. There is a base hit.
Long will bunt it down the third base side, and a bunt single for Ryan Long, as there might be some strategy. There might be the infield grass might make the ball not roll as much, so maybe Ryan Long was doing that strategically as he went up to the batter's box. It will be the first hit of the day for the Otters, as Dakota Phillips, the designated hitter, will step to the plate.
Well, you may be right, but then to give credit to Ryan, when you look at the third baseman now, a left-hander, and of course Ryan was a left-hander. Look where he's playing, and it was a perfect bunt.
It'll bring up another lefty-on-lefty matchup as Phillips will step into the batter's box. First pitch to Dakota is a strike.
See, the batters have got to realize this. You know, when you're up there, you're a baseball player. You're supposed to be a thinking individual, not just a robot. Just go up there and swing.
0-1, swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Havard, moving the count to 0-2.
You look at the third baseman where he's playing. He's playing more or less the shortstop position, plus he's playing deep. And if even I did get several bunts in my lifetime, but I would have bunted right now. And it takes me 2 days to run from home to first.
The 0-2 to Phillips is low in the dirt for a ball, moving the count to 1-2. So not only is Ryan Long a good athlete, we got to give him credit for his baseball IQ, right?
That's right. Intellect, yes. Because, again, you're looking at the situation, take advantage of it. That's the name of the game, whether it's football, basketball, baseball.
Or soccer.
Or soccer, lacrosse, field hockey.
Havard, the lefty, with the 1-2 count, and with a 1-2 count, the 1-2 pitch is a ball outside, moving the count to even at 2. Long at first base for the Otters. 2 outs. Bottom of the first, Otters are down 3-0. In the top of the first, the Wild Things had 5 straight singles, scoring 3 runs. Throw back over to first is not in time without a tag.
I would say this is a good situation to steal. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And I'm going to suspect that he's going to throw a breaking pitch. So it would be a perfect stealing situation.
The lefty Havard, the 2-2. Ground ball will be hit down the third base line, thrown over to first. Is in time. We had to wait for that call. The third baseman Franco threw that one on a hop, played it far near the third base bag, and had to throw across the diamond and gets it in there in time for out number 3. Ryan Long was left stranded at first base as we head to the top of the second. 3-0 Wild Things the score as you listen to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEB Evansville.
Welcome back to Bossy Field here, where the Evansville Otters are down 3-0 in the top of the second. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. The batter, the ninth man, Mr. Brent Marr, the shortstop, has a 1-1 count. Nicely with a deep breath on the mound. He'll kick and fire from the belt. Fly ball, left field. Grieshaber going back. And he will make the catch for out number one. Made that casually out there in left field. And one away.
Yes, he was very casual. You notice he took maybe 5 steps back.
Yeah, and you would think that it may have been gone, but he didn't turn around as he was able to locate the ball rather quickly.
He judged that well, and, of course, the wind has changed. He's going to center field now, too. Well, left center.
Left center. That'll bring up the top of the order in Sage Jenko, who flied out to left field his first time up. Bunt down the first base side, and it will be a bunt single. Look at that. Calabrese and Nicely ran out to see if the ball was going to roll foul, and that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yes.
You see if it rolls foul, therefore it would go out of play, but it stayed in fair territory. So the infield grass might keep the ball. It won't allow it to roll a whole much. So if you hit a ball within the infield grass, it might die right away. And the Wild Things are taking advantage of that. Ryan Long did that in his first at-bat, a bunt down the third base side. So now a runner on first for the Wild Things, already with a 3-0 lead. 3 runs on now 6 hits. This pitch is roped into left field for another base hit, and that'll be the 6th single of the day for the Wild Things.
I'm looking at Max down there with the pencil. He's writing something.
Or 7th single, excuse me.
He just put it back down. I don't know what I keep records here too, but most of my records are in my head. I don't need to write something down. I see what I'm thinking.
So Nicely, back-to-back innings, he's got runners on first and second with 1 out.
But the point is there's 7 base hits, and we're still in the second inning.
Yep. It'll bring up Hughes, the man from Sewell, New Jersey. It's not far from here, actually, probably about 14 hours.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Hughes. Runners on first and second for the Wild Things with 1 out, already with a 3-0 lead. The 1-0 from Nicely. Swing and a miss on, I believe that was a breaking ball. Count now even at 1. Clouds coming in. Hopefully we can hold them off.
It would be nice. I remember in my day, 60, 70 years ago, we played in the rain. That is until the floodlights started popping.
The 1-1 from Nicely.
Base
Fly
hit.
ball will go over the head of Gould, the base hit, into left center field. Rounding third and scoring will be Jenko, and that'll be the 4th run of the day. The Wild Things will get there, and that's a 4-0 lead. An RBI single for Hughes. He's 2 for 2. And going over to third will be Franco.
And nobody's warming up yet. Nobody warming up. 8 base hits, 4 runs, 1 out. Runners on first and second.
36 pitches.
36 pitches.
For Nicely. 4 runs on 8 hits here in the top of the second. 4-0 Wild Things. Gould playing at double play depth. Same thing with Cronin. Gould playing behind the runner Hughes, who is now at second. First pitch is foul to Roa, moving the count to 0-1.
We've got some action finally down in the bullpen. Number 16, or is that 26?
It looks like 36. We got
36,
Tyler Vale.
okay.
We got
36.
Abraham Almonte as well.
That would be Vale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Runners on first and second instead of first and third. 1 out. The 0-1 pitch from Nicely is a ball low and away to Roa, who I believe had the first RBI single of the night. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Nicely from the belt, he'll check the runner at second base. He'll kick and fire. Base hit. It will be over the head of Gould in the left center field, rolling all the way near the wall. Rounding second, heading to third and home will be Franco. Heading to third will be Hughes, and Roa now has a RBI double. It's 5-0 Wild Things.
And I would say, please go out, give the man some inspiration anyway, and say, hey, you know, stop the bleeding.
As pitching coach Max Peterson will go out on the mound to talk to Austin nicely. You know, Bill, I heard you mention Ted Williams earlier in our pregame show.
Yes.
Well, today in 1984, the Red Sox retired Ted Williams, number 9, as well as Joe Cronin and his number 4. Was he, I wish I was around, was he the best hitter you've ever seen?
He was the epitome of the greatest hitter that ever lived. We were in spring training, 1969. Joe Gordon was our manager with Kansas City Royals, and Ted Williams was managing the Texas team, or the Washington team, and we were over there, and we were in the clubhouse, and Ted Williams said to Joe Gordon, now you know, Joe, if the pitcher is throwing at an angle of 180 degrees, you've got to adjust your bat to 180 degrees. Now, if he drops down to 120, you adjust your bat. Well, Joe Gordon didn't say nothing. And
first pitch to the batter, Fernandez, the first baseman, who's had a single back in the first.
So as we were going back to our own dugout, Joe Gordon said, can you imagine that? He said, all I worried about was seeing the ball. I didn't know what angle the ball was coming from. But that was Ted Williams. He was a specialist.
1-0 the count. Men on second and third. Foul ball and out of play will roll to the dugout on the third base side where the Wild Things are located.
He lost several years of Major League Baseball.
Because he was a fighter pilot, right?
World War II and Korea War. He was a Marine fighter pilot. And Bob Kennedy, who was general manager of the Cardinals and the Cubs and the ex-Major League outfielder himself.
The 1-1 will be a ground ball. Ryan Long couldn't keep the ball in front of him. It'll roll down the third base line. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Going to second base will be Fernandez.
Double.
Has been ruled a double, a 2-run RBI double, and the Wild Things extend their lead to 6-0.
Yeah.
Long. It was a sharp ground ball down the third base side. Ryan Long put his glove down and to try to keep the ball in front of him. Instead, it rolls up his glove over his head and will roll down the third base side near the bullpen of the Wild Things. Just a bad break for Ryan Long and the Otters.
Well, that hole that we talked about in the first inning that we could have gotten ourselves out of, now we've dug it so deep. We're 7 down, and we got 1 out. And there's a runner on, and finally now we're bringing in a reliever.
It'll be Tyler Vale, who was a starter last year, then moved to the bullpen to be the closer. And so he does have starting experience. He can go at least 3 or 4 innings. Vale is the lone veteran on this baseball club, as it will be a pitching change. But go ahead, Bill, finish your thought.
I was going to say, I've been in baseball too long. I've been in professional baseball for over 60-plus years. And I've been playing baseball since I was 7 or 8 years old. And I'll tell you what, and maybe it's just my instinct, but you know, you can tell when a pitcher don't have it. So you're not that you're making a fool of them, but to have someone warm up. So when they got 2 runs, you should have had someone warming up. When they got 3 runs, you probably could have replaced them. No, we wait until 7. And more or less the game is, put it this way, it's going to be hard as heck to get back into the game. You're in the second inning. You're down 7-0.
This is a wow call to the bullpen. Wow internet, TV, and phone call to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Wow TV and internet offers the best double play deal in Evansville. How about that, Bill?
Yeah, that's good. I told you yesterday I had wow until they They cut the line in my neighbor's yard. That was it. Wild didn't cut the line. The people that were working in the yard did. They were laying that, what do you call it, pipe for in the ground sprinkler system.
So the line on nicely, inning in a third, 10 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, and 14 foul balls.
Yeah.
Bring up Tyler Vale, who's from Easton, Pennsylvania, not far from Allentown, the home of Snoopy and Charlie Brown and Dorney Park. Were you a Snoopy cartoon fan growing up?
No, Charlie wasn't born when I was growing up.
Were you a Bugs Bunny guy?
Bugs, yes.
There we go.
And
World Harvest Church.
No, that wild thing that used to be on the road that outrun everybody and then get run over.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Yeah, the Roadrunner.
That's right. It's Tyler Vale in for the Otters on the mound. The Wild Things have a 7-0 lead here in the top of the second.
I mean, it's batting practice for those guys. Franco's got 2. Hughes has got 2. Roa's got 2. Fernandez has got 2.
And Herbert.
And Herbert's got 1.
The man who was first pitch to Herbert, swing and a miss for strike 1.
On a breaking pitch. You know, if you got a curveball or a slider, use it.
Vale's got quite an arsenal of pitches as he's on the mound.
Well,
standing on the left side of the rubber.
That was a breaking pitch, and he made him look like a fool on that swing.
Checks the runner at second base. The 0-1, low in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 1-1.
That looked like a slider.
Runner on second base in Fernandez with the 2-run RBI double. From the belt, Vale will kick and fire, and that'll be a swing and a miss on a fastball. Count now at 1-2.
He was number 11, Herbert. He was a little late on that. I think the train left the station already.
Count at 1-2. Runner on second base. Vale checks him 2 more times.
I tell you,
ground ball down the third base line and will go out of play.
Yeah. You know, I was at a game down in North Carolina several years ago, maybe 40 years ago, and I was breaking in a scout down there. And we went to a game. You won't believe I called every pitch, and I was just in the stands. And I called every pitch. You get to know these batters and these pitches.
The 1-2 from Vale. Ground ball, hit to Cronin, bobbled a bit, throws it over to first base to Castro in time for the second out of the inning.
And the runner moving to third, so on a bad pitch, we could have another run.
Good news is, both there's 2 outs.
2 outs.
It'll bring up Erickson, who had the sac fly his last time up.
That was the one where your friend Keith out there had smoothness.
Yes. With the last name Greasaber, I wonder if he's seen the movie with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Okay. First pitch from Vale is a ball in the outside corner. Count moving to 1-0. Have you seen the movie Grease?
You mean with John Travolta? Oh my.
Yeah, and Olivia Newton-John. Yeah.
I not only seen it, I was there for the New York stage.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You saw it on Broadway.
Yes, on Broadway.
1-0 pitch, check swing, umpire.
And I tell you
says
what,
that he did not go.
I tell you what, when they first started, there was very little profanity.
Right.
But at the end, it got to be ridiculous.
Okay.
They abused it.
Oh, that's not good. No. So in other words, it turned to Goodfellas in a hurry. Next pitch from Vale is a ball. Count now moving to 3-0.
You know, it's like that comedian. Every other word out of his mouth was profanity. I can't think of his name.
Andrew Dice Clay?
No.
Okay.
One of the old-timers.
Got it. 3-0 the count. Runner on third base for the Wild Things. 7-0 lead. And that'll be ball 4. So Erickson is 0 for 1 still with an RBI, sac fly, and a walk. And that'll bring up the 9th batter of the inning.
That's the first walk of the game, whether it's for the Otters or for Washington.
Adams will be the batter. Blake Adams, the left fielder, who was 0 for 4 yesterday and had a strikeout. Runners are first and third for the Wild Things. They have a 7-0 lead. Fly ball, center field, playable for Meggs, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. The Wild Things send 9 men to the plate, score 4 more runs. They lead this one by a score of 7-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
At the University of Evansville, you will receive an academic scholarship. You will be taught by talented, engaged professors committed to your success.
We will help you change the world.
You will have the opportunity to study abroad.
UE will change your life.
This is a place where we change the world. Come change it with us.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The 4th Annual Burdette Blues Festival on Saturday, July 6th at the Burdette Park Pavilion will feature some of the best blues acts in our area. There'll be barbecue, food trucks, and a beer garden. General admission at the gate will provide ongoing support for blues music in the tri-state. 12 years and younger will get in free. For more information, check out the 91.5 FM WUEV Facebook page or visit evansvilleblues.com.
We've seen a few Wild Things here as Carlos Castro will lead off the bottom of the second. He's got a 1-0 count. And a second pitch from Havard. Ground ball, second base side. Hughes will throw over to Fernandez in time for the 4-3 putout and out number 1.
You know, I just realized why Castro hits so many balls to second base, ground balls, or right field. Is because he stands so far back in the plate. Actually, the ball is practically past the plate when he makes contact, and that's why it's got to go to the right side.
Bring up the Staten Island native, Rob Calabrese, who played in the San Francisco Giants organization before coming to the Evansville Otters. First pitch to Calabrese is a called strike on the outside corner. Count now at 0-1. Havard will get the sign, kicks and fires for the 0-1. Fly ball, right center field. Playable for Roa, and he'll make the catch at the warning track for out number 2.
I think he misjudged that. Well, look at the flag. Watching Roa go after that, he was just cruising after it, and then at the last minute he threw it in overdrive. Because that flag, that ball was just carrying away.
Bring up Mitchell Hansen, the man from Plano, Texas. Lefty on lefty matchup. As we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Mitchell. Low in the dirt for a ball.
Strike 1.
Ooh.
Inside strike. Beautiful pitch.
Okay. Thank you for the correction, Bill.
No.
0-1 the count, and it'll be a chopper off home plate to the pitcher Havard, and he'll throw it to first in time for the out. Otters go down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the third, 7-0 Wild Things the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
A Case of the Blues is your home for blues music in the tri-state, featuring music from local artists like Honey Roy, Dale Niehaus and Bad Mojo, the Bosco France Band, and the Beat Daddies, as well as legends of the blues like B.B. King, Buddy Guy, and Muddy Waters. A Case of the Blues is on every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., only on your place for blues in the tri-state, 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville, a University of Evansville radio station.
That much baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down by a score of 7-0. Wild Things have 7 runs on 10 hits. A lot of them have been singles.
Yeah.
We're in the top of the third. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Tyler Vale on the mound for the top of the third. The starter, Austin Nicely, did not have a pretty good outing. Probably one that he wants to forget, as he only went 1 2/3, allowing those 7 runs.
His ERA is going to climb out of the off the roof.
1 1/3, 10 runs, 10 hits, 7 runs.
His
as it'll bring up Marr, the shortstop, Brett Marr, who led off the second inning. He now leads off the third.
Nicely had an 11.85 ERA before this.
The veteran Vale on the mound for the Otters. First pitch from the belt. Called strike on the inside corner. Count moving to 0-1. And Vale probably wants a quick inning so he can get his teammates back in the dugout and have chances at the plate to score some runs. Fly ball, right field. Cronin moves over from his second base position into right field to make the catch for out number 1. We'll bring up the top of the order in Sage Jenko, who is 1 for 2 today with a single and a run scored. Vale, who will set up on the left side of the mound.
I'm just looking here. Nicely didn't have 1 strikeout nor 1 walk.
Nope.
Everything was base hits, base hits.
Swing and a miss from Jenko, making the count at 0-1.
So that I'm looking now, he's got 15 innings pitched. That'll be 31 hits and 28 runs that have scored against him.
I think he'll bounce back. The 0-1. Ground ball to Cronin. Fields it cleanly, throwing it over to Castro in time for out number 2. That'll bring up Wander Franco, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. Vale, the former starter, started out as the closer this year. Is a good veteran presence, the only veteran on the team. Went to Notre Dame High School. Is a 5th-round pick by the Oakland Athletics. First pitch from Vale is a ball on the outside corner, lower outer half of the zone. Count now at 1-0. Vavell also committed to the University of Maryland to play baseball, but he was still unsure if he was going to get drafted. So he played it safe, told Maryland that he was going to commit there, as the next pitch from him is a ball outside once more. Count now at 2-0. But then once the A's called him and drafted him in the 5th round, when you're 18 years old, your dream is to play Major League Baseball, and that's what Vell decided to do, to go after his dream. Played in the athletics organization for about 4 years. The 2-0 pitch, swing, check swing to be exact, and the field umpire, Mr. Bob Davis, says that Franco didn't go. Count now at 3-0.
As a former scout, free agent scout, there's different classifications of scouts.
The 3-0. Cold strike one. Go ahead, Bill. Say it.
There. Hey, boy, get back here.
Count goes to 3-1.
Anyway, free agent scouting. When I was doing that, high school, colleges, and American Legion and such.
The 3-1 fly ball. Center field. Meggs goes under it, drifts to his right, and will make the catch for out number 3. But go ahead, Bill, finish it.
No, I'll finish it next inning.
We head to the bottom of the 3rd. No score, 7-0. Wild Things. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Welcome back to Ball State Field. Dave DeWin and Bill McCune on the call as the Otters find themselves down by a score of 7-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jack Meggs will step to the plate for his first at-bat of the game. He gets a called strike on the inside corner from the lefty, John Havard.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a free agent, if I drafted a kid, you were talking about this boy being drafted 5th and signing.
The 0-1 to Meggs is another called strike. Ooh, it hit him.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't see it hit him, but that's what the umpire says.
Well, I didn't see it either, but he just took that his shield up and walked down there.
It'll be the Otters' second base runner of the day.
Yeah. I was going to say, if I drafted a kid out of high school and he had a scholarship to a college, like you say, the University of Maryland, if I could not give him enough money to match that college, plus a few bucks to put in his pocket, I wouldn't sign him. I wouldn't gyp the kid of a college education.
J.J. Gould to the plate and had an RBI single last night. For his second RBI of the season, he's overcoming a back injury that he had, and it's nice to have him back in the lineup and out in the field at shortstop. He's got a 1-0 count. Havard, the 1-0 pitch. Outside. Pitch out, throw over to first.
He's safe. He's safe.
He is safe, but that was pretty close, Bill.
A good throw. If the first baseman was back on the bag, he would have been out.
Yes.
The throw was good.
Good throw by the catcher, Herbert.
Yeah.
With the pitch out, throw down to Fernandez, and Meggs gets back there safely. Yeah. Pick off and throw over to first is Not in time. So Meggs, according to the pitcher Havard wants to keep him honest at first base. 2-0 the count to Gould, and the pitch will be a ball outside. Count moving to 3-0 with no outs. Otters down 7-0 here in the bottom of the third. They've allowed 7 runs on 10 hits. It was a hit parade early in the first.
If you're ahead by 7 runs, you're not worried about that runner on first base.
The 3-0.
Concentrate on the batter.
From the lefty, and it's a high strike. Count at 3-1.
You know, you can't take your mind off the batter. That's the one that controls the game.
The 3-1.
Ball 4.
Ball 4, and will be the third Otters base runner tonight. Back-to-back walks from Havard, the lefty, who last time he was at Bossy Field, he went 7 innings, allowed only 2 runs, and one of them earned 6 strikeouts, and only allowed 3 hits.
See, now we've got something going, Dave. You've got a runner on second that was hit by a pitch, Meggs, and you got JJ who got a walk. There's 2 runners on. There's no outs. Now, you've got to play little baseball.
Small ball, right?
Yes. You don't attempt to steal third in this situation.
David Cronin to the plate. We want to say hi to his parents. They listen in and they enjoy it. A base hit up the middle. That'll score Gould from second. He'll head home safely without sliding, and the Otters are on the board.
So Cronin gets a base hit.
RBI base hit.
RBI base hit. You're right.
Excuse me, that'll be Meggs rounding third, and he scores. Keith Griesaber to the plate. Gould at second base. Cronin at first.
You see how about worried about that runner on first? Got himself in his own jam by walking him. Otherwise, you would have had a runner on first and base hit. They'd been first and third, possibly.
First pitch to Griesaber is a ball low. Count at 1-0. Men on first and second. No outs for the Otters. They just got on the board on an RBI single from David Cronin.
And that was the second hit for the Otters.
The 1-0. Inside for ball 2 from the lefty Havard. Calls time and wants a different baseball. Havard was nice. We want to thank the broadcaster, Brian, on the left-hand side for providing us with some information. Havard's favorite baseball player, Mark McGwire. So the pitcher, his favorite baseball player is a hitter, and a St. Louis legend, I believe. Next pitch from Griesaber is a ball. To Griesaber is a ball. Count now at 3-0. McGwire and Sammy Sosa battling it out in the early 2000s for the single-season home run record. As that pitch to Keith is a strike called on the outside corner. Count moving to 3-1. I think Keith's approach is what you were just talking about. He had a 3-0, took a strike.
Take a strike. Why give the pitcher the break?
The 3-1 to Keith. Swing and a miss. Ooh. This time on a fastball. Keith wanted to chase that one upstairs. Instead, it's a full count.
That was ball 4. That was ball 4.
Keith was really swinging for the fences on that swing.
That he was. And what do I say? When you're up there, that high one, you better be quick with the bat. He was a little slow.
Runners are first and second. First pitch, or next pitch to Keith is a foul ball down the first base side.
You know, you
count
talk
now at 3-2.
You talk about Sosa. You talk about Casino. What's his name?
McGwire.
McGwire, but the other one, Joe, with the
Jose Canseco.
I can't say his name. Whatever. Anyway,
the 3-2 will be fouled once more and out of play.
I remember when they came into the major leagues, they had good bodies, maybe 190 pounds. They, well built. They had that Greek type body.
That's right.
Athletic. And then all of a sudden they started taking things, I don't know, and they become monsters.
Yes. Good way to put it, Bill. 3-2 is fouled to the netting.
Canseco.
That's
what I was trying
to say.
Jose
Canseco, yeah. Yep.
Canseco, yeah.
And around that same time, I think Rafael Palmeiro was
Yep.
For a hit streak, I believe.
Yeah. He went to the same school as Will Clark.
Yes.
Down there in Mississippi.
Thunder and Lightning in Mississippi State.
Yep.
The 3-2 ground ball, base hit through the hole in the past the shortstop Marr. That'll make the bases loaded with no outs and Ryan Long to the plate. First time that the pitcher Havard is in a bit of trouble. Otters trying to take advantage of the opportunity.
And if you notice, Andy was there as the runner was coming to third base. Andy was there, giving him the sign, hold it, don't go any further, which was the right move because he might have been dead at home, and that would have killed the rally. I mean, right now you got the bases loaded, no outs.
That, and we got some action in the Wild Things bullpen on the third base side.
Yeah.
Can't quite make out the runner from our point of view, but we'll get to that when it occurs.
But you notice how the manager went out real quick. I mean, here they got one run, and he's given up a couple of hits, and right away the manager's out there, hey, wait a minute, in the meantime, someone's warming up. They're not going to let the barn burn in this team.
So the first two innings were clean for Havard, the pitcher, right? I think the Otters were a little aggressive swing at the first pitch, second pitch in the at-bats, and Havard was able to be calm. Now the Otters in the bottom of the third have had a different approach to the plate, taking pitches, especially with a 3-0 count. They were taking a strike, and right now Ryan Long, if you want a guy to knock in a couple of runs, this is the guy to do it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Hit a home run yesterday, his 5th of the year. 16th RBI, who's also second in the Frontier League. First pitch to Long. Ooh. Be a foul ball. He'll step out of the batter's box as I believe it hit the inside of his left leg. He's going to try to shake it off. Well, try to stretch it out a little bit. Go ahead.
I was going to say that was a good inside pitch. It was belt high. Ryan got a good swing, but it just went off the handle of the bat and put one up around the letters over the plate. And I'm going to say right now he's going to hit one over the St. Vincent's sign out there in right center. At least I hope he does.
The crowd would get back into it. The 0-1 to Long. Ground ball to first base, getting the force out at home and back to first. He dropped the ball. Called him out?
Yep.
How? Please explain.
Yes, he was in, you see, there's a base path there.
Right.
Where Boots is right now. Okay. That's where you run.
Right.
When you run inside of that baseline, inside the field, and you get hit with the ball, you are out.
I don't think Ryan got hit with the ball, though.
Well, then when did it ricochet off?
If anything, it ricocheted off the glove of the first baseman Fernandez.
Well,
because he stepped off the bag.
Interference. There's another out. You don't interfere with the runner, a fielder, while he's in the process of fielding a ball.
So we'll have a force out at home. So it'll be 3-2.
And the runner out at first.
And
Mr. Ryan is out, and the runner at home is out.
Ryan's apparently staying at first base.
Well, we'll see how long he's there.
All right, that's a bit of confusion because I don't think Ryan did anything wrong. I think he ran it down the base path.
He didn't do anything wrong. He was just running his heart out to get to first base.
And
he just happened to be in the field and interfered with the first baseman. I used to do that deliberately as a catcher. You go and you hit the runner, and when he's in the field, it's an automatic out.
So interference, and that'll be out number 2. So runners, Grieshaber at first, Cronin at second, and a kind of a bizarre situation. With 2 outs here, Otters are on the board thanks to a David Cronin RBI single. It'll bring up Dakota Phillips. First pitch to Dakota is way inside for a ball. Count at 1-0.
That was a big, bad break for the Otters.
That wasn't good at all.
No, it was a good call, but a bad break.
I'll respectfully disagree. The 1-0 swing and a miss for strike 1. Fastball on the outer part of the plate.
A little too high, and Mr. Phelps was a little late.
Count now even 1 with 2 outs. Otters have 1 run on 3 hits. The 1-1 as Havard will step off the bag to check Cronin at second. Havard now on the right side of the mound. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Looks like a breaking ball right there. And count now at 1-2.
I'm going to say the last 2 swings that Phillips had, they were lazy swings. They weren't quick shots. They were just like swatting a fly, nice and easy.
Havard, the lefty, kicks and fires for the 1-2. That'll be low in the dirt for a ball. Count now even at 2 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 3rd. Otters gave up 7 runs on 10 hits in the first 2 innings. Got themselves in a bit of a hole.
Yeah.
The 2-2.
Base hit.
Base hit through the middle. And rounding third, Cronin will stop. Now Cronin will head to third and score. An RBI single for Dakota Phillips. 7-2 ball game. And it was weird because Cronin was stopped at third. Then they realized that the ball rolled and was dead through the hole on the second base side into center field, right center. And with Cronin having heads up, he decided to take home, and now the Otters have 2 runs on the board. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. Andy held him up, right? That's why he stopped at third base.
So Grieshaber at third, Phillips at first with the RBI single, and Carlos Castro to the plate.
And that would have been a good call because, he assumed the ball was going to be caught, and he'd only get the third.
First pitch to Castro is a foul ball down the first base side. Now to play. We get a pretty good crowd here tonight, Bill.
Yes. Yes, it is
We
pretty
got
good.
fans behind home plate, down the first base side, down the third base side. It's a very cool night for baseball. The 0-1, chopper to the pitcher. He'll make the easy play to first, and that'll be the end of the inning. The Otters send 7 men to the plate, scoring their first 2 runs of the game. We head to the top of the 4th, 7-2 Wild Things. And you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball for 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
And now the umpire is...
91.5 WUEV would like to thank the Boca Lounge for its support. Thursdays, get all the blues you can use with Bosco France and Friends at 6 p.m. Then at 9:30, it's open mic with the On Tap Project. The Boca Lounge, 1007 Parrott Street in downtown Evansville.
The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Wynn and Bill McCune on the call. I don't know if you're a hockey fan.
No,
Bill?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, the Blues are in the Stanley Cup against the Boston Bruins in the best-of-7 series. They are down by a score of 2-1 at TD Bank Garden in Boston. The Blues lost Game 1. They scored the first 2 goals of the game and ended up falling to the Boston Bruins by a score of 4-2 on Monday night.
No, I'm not a hockey fan, although I did support the Icemen when they were here. I went down to Ford Center and I watched the Icemen, but I'm not a hockey fan.
The
no.
Icemen? Okay, I got to tell you, playoff hockey is just something different.
Yeah, I don't understand the game.
Fair enough. Top of the fourth, 7-2 in favor of the Washington Wild Things. It'll bring up the second baseman, Shane Hughes. First pitch to Hughes is a ball inside. Count at 1-0 as Vail is on the mound for his second inning of work.
And as the Otters were taking the field, Brian Long stopped to talk with the home plate umpire to find out what exactly did he do wrong. And they were nice conversation there, and Brian accepted it and went back to his third base position. But the umpire was right.
Okay.
The umpire was right.
1-1 the count as there was a called strike on the outside corner. Count even at 1, and the 1-1 pitch from Vail is a swing and a miss for strike 2 to Shane Hughes, the man from Sewell, New Jersey, about 14 hours west of here, or east of here, I should say.
East.
From the belt, Vail kicks and fires, and that's a ball high and outside. Count now even at 2. Well, speaking of back east, northeast, today in 1989, Phillies third baseman Mike Schmidt, at age 39, retired.
Good.
Thanks. The 2-2. Called strike 3. And out number 1 here in the fourth. The first strikeout of the night for the Otters, as well as Tyler Vail.
Yeah, it's the first strikeout of the game.
It'll bring up Hector Roa, man from Camden, New Jersey, who's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, a single, and a double.
I was not a Mike.
You weren't a Mike Schmidt guy?
No.
Fly ball, foul, and out of play. Count at 0-1. Well, growing up, he was my dad's favorite player. I mean, my dad grew up within walking distance from the vet. So he grew up playing ball, played third base, and wanted to be like Mike Schmidt. The 0-1 from Vail. Check swing, and that'll go foul.
I don't think that was a check swing. I think he was getting out of the way, and the bat protected him from getting hit in the chest.
It'll be an 0-2 count, and Vail will take what he can get.
Oh, yeah.
With 1 out.
We used to stay at the Hershey Hotel downtown Philly with, when San Diego was playing the Phillies at the Hershey Hotel.
So were you not a fan of Schmidt?
No.
Because of he was a good player, or as the next pitch from Vail is a ball outside? Count at 1 and 2.
Didn't like him at all. His attitude he was an outstanding player.
Right.
There's no doubt. He was a home run hitter, played a good defensive third, but I just didn't like him.
Okay.
Just like Bob Gibson. I don't like Bob Gibson either.
No? Okay.
But he's a great pitcher.
Right. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts from Vail, and out number 2. Bring up the first baseman, the switch hitting Fernandez.
My son just came up, spent the weekend with us from Louisiana. I gave him an autograph, Bob Gibson, baseball and a pitcher. And he went back to Louisiana with 2 Bob Gibson autographs.
First pitch, foul, down the first base side and out of play.
Bob Gibson, very arrogant.
Yeah.
He was a great pitcher, but just like when he was on the mound, he didn't care for too many people, and that's his attitude when he's not in uniform as well. Although if he came here to speak, he'd get $35,000 to $40,000 as a guest speaker.
I'm sure. The 0-1 from Vail. Behind the catcher, Calabrese. Count now even at 1 as that pitch was in the dirt. So if you're just joining us, The Wild Things put 7 runs on the board in the first 2 innings on 10 hits. That would chase the Otters starter Austin nicely. 1-1 is low in the dirt. Count will be moving to 2-1. The Otters were able to get on the board on RBI singles from David Cronin and Dakota Phillips. And we have a 7-2 baseball game here in the top of the 4th. A lot of hard-hit balls early on.
Oh, yes.
Especially to left field. The flag is continuing to blow towards left center field. Ground ball foul down the first base side. Count will move to 2-2 with 2 outs.
You know, you're talking about the balls being hit hard and 7 runs. You know, I think the worst managers in baseball are pitchers. And anyway, a pitcher who is a manager or coach will always come out to the mound and say to the pitcher, "How you doing? You know, what's wrong?" And
the 2-2 fly ball right center field. Meggs will go over to his left and make a handful of steps and make the catch for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Go ahead.
I never seen a pitcher who says, "Hey, Skip, take me out." They always say, "Hey, I'm okay. Just give me another chance. Give me another chance." Yank him.
We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Otters down 7-2. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier-Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier-Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier-Press can be found online at courierpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier-Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
I'd yank them. Get them out before the house burns down.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 7-2 as we're in the bottom of the 4th. Rob Calabrese to the batter's box. First pitch to Calabrese is a ground ball, not fielded cleanly by Franco.
Error.
And that will be an E5. And the Otters will get on base any way they can. The drop that Paul Mattingly played was something having to do with getting the fire department to put out the fire.
Well, I tell you what, we didn't have insurance on the barn, so we really lost out.
We'll bring up Mitchell Hansen. The Otters now back-to-back innings with a runner on first.
I keep saying, get insurance, get insurance. No, they didn't listen.
First pitch to Hansen is a foul ball down the first base side and out of play. Hansen, a Plano, Texas native, former second round pick from the Dodgers out of high school. Spent a handful of seasons in the Dodgers organization as well as the New York Yankees organization in Charleston, South Carolina for the River Dogs. The 0-1, called strike 2 right on the outside corner. Count now quickly at 0-2 with no outs. Calabrese at first base on the error.
When you're drafted number 2, they certainly really respect you.
Next pitch to Hansen is low and away in the dirt for a ball. Count now moving to 1-2.
If you're in the top 5 drafts of any June draft, that would be Major League, AAA, AA, 2 top A's. You are well respected by that organization.
Played between rookie ball and single A ball. Between the
strike three
between the Dodgers and Yankees organizations as Hansen goes down on strikes and one away.
Low outside pitch. He waved after that one. That is one of his weaknesses, if you recall. That he's a left-hand batter. For some reason, he chases that low outside pitch, and he can't make contact. When you can't reach it with a sailor's oar, you're certainly not going to reach it with a baseball bat.
We'll bring up Jack Meggs, who was hit by a pitch and started the rally for the Otters back in the third. He scored the first run of the game off the David Cronin RBI single. First pitch to Meggs is foul and out of play. Down to third base side, count moving to 0-1. Calabrese, the Staten Island native, on first. In the game still is the starting pitcher for the Wild Things, John Havard, who, in addition to Mark McGwire, his favorite pro athlete is Kobe Bryant, the basketball player from the Los Angeles Lakers. The 0-1 is a ball, throw down to second base. Calabrese is safe with a stolen base.
I can't believe that.
Should have been out, you think?
No. Why are you stealing when you're 5 runs down?
And he's aggressive on the base path, Bill.
Yes, but that's foolish aggressiveness.
Okay.
You know, that's like hanging off the George Washington Bridge, you know.
That's a long bridge.
Yeah. It's aggressiveness.
And a bad bridge to be on during rush hour traffic. The next pitch is fouled down the third base side and out of play. Count moving to 1-2 to Meggs. The George Washington Bridge, that's...
I'm sorry? George Washington Bridge, what about it?
I'm trying to think where it is.
It's in New Jersey, New York.
I thought so. That was my first guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, heading into New York, it's one of
right.
Yep.
You pay on the Jersey toll side, the toll. Used to be 50 cents.
Not anymore.
No, it's $5 now and something.
Yep. Next pitch to Meggs is low and away for a ball. Count now even at 2. Calabrese at second with a stolen base. 1 out. Otters down 7-2. They scored their first 2 runs back in the third. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Havard will kick and fire for the 2-2, and that is low and away for a ball. Count now full.
Yep.
And if you remember, last inning, the Otters had bases loaded, no outs, and they were able to score a couple runs on the board, but that play with Ryan Long and getting tagged out because of runner interference, I think that kind of disrupted the momentum the Otters had.
Yeah, but Ryan Long was not, I know his parents probably were watching it on the computer.
The 3-2 is fouling out of play.
He did nothing wrong. Unfortunately, he was running, not knowing what the situation is, and, you know, because that was a ground ball hit to the first baseman, who the first baseman threw it home, and then back for the double play.
Yep.
So he's running his heart and soul out to go to first base. He doesn't know what the play is. His back's to it, so unfortunately, he violated a rule.
The 3-2 ground ball to the second baseman. Hughes will throw it over to first in time for the out. Had to throw that ball from near the edge of the right field grass.
Nice play on the second baseman's front.
Advances Calabrese to third. Be 4-3 on the putout. And J.J. Gould to the plate, who walked his last time up. And he was the one who got thrown out at home from the force out. He was out at home because of the force out. Former Jacksonville State alum, as well as was picked by the Miami Marlins. First pitch to Gould is a called strike on the outside corner. J.J. picked in the 26th round. The 0-1. Behind the catcher, Herbert, and will be foul. Count quickly to 0-2. Calabrese on third, and if there's anything J.J. wants to do, he wants to bring Calabrese home. Havard pitching well, the 0-2. Ball outside. Count now at 1-2. So Mark McGwire's favorite baseball player, Kobe Bryant, his favorite athlete, and his favorite teams are the Lakers, Raiders, and Dodgers. Fly ball will be caught as Roa took a few steps forward to make the play and end the inning. The Otters leave Calabrese stranded at third as we head to the top of the fifth, 7-2. Wild things to score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We are in nightfall at Bosse Field. We have not seen Mother Nature yet, and Tyler Vale will be on the mound for his 4th inning of duty. Otters down by a score of 7-2. 7 runs scored in the first 2 innings off 10 hits for the Wild Things. Those runs would chase starter Austin Nicely out of the game.
And we're looking at 10 hits they got in the first 2 innings, but Mr. Vale hasn't given up a base hit in his performance out there. 2 2/3 innings.
Yep, he's got 2 strikeouts as well.
Yeah, he hasn't given up a hit yet.
It'll bring up Lucas Herbert, the catcher, who unfortunately was thrown out of the game yesterday after striking out.
He's spy smasher.
First pitch to Herbert is a swing and a miss for a strike. At a breaking ball there by Vale, and the count at 0-1.
He took his frustration out on that home plate and beat that home plate. He could have got arrested for battery. Assault and battery.
The 0-1 way inside for a ball. Count now even at 1. Herbert is 1 for 2 tonight. He had a single back in the first. The 1-1. Check swing. He did not go, says home plate umpire Mr. Mike Fitcher. Count now at 1-2. Vale from the belt, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that'll be strike 3. 3rd strikeout tonight for Vale, the Easton, Pennsylvania native, and out number 1. So after spending 4 years with the Athletics, he was released as we bring up the designated hitter, Erickson, Cody Erickson. Evansville was able to give him an opportunity as he has a good relationship with Andy McCauley. Andy is from the Allentown area. So they kept in touch, and Andy was able to give Vale a second opportunity here in Evansville as a starter. He was on the 2016 championship team. And then 2017, he was called back up to affiliated baseball as there is an 0-1 count on the foul ball from Erickson. And he spent a season in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, was released from there, and now came back to Evansville in 2018, and served as a starter last year, moved to the bullpen towards the end of last year, started in the bullpen this year. If you want to listen for more information, I had a conversation with Val about 45 minutes or so on the podcast, the inaugural Otters podcast that I have for the team, as this is a fly ball to left center field. Will drop for a base hit in front of Meggs. And rounding first, he'll stay at first, will be Erickson on the single with one out.
Yeah, we knew Meggs wasn't going to get that one. That was a line drive, and it was sinking. And Meggs got it on the first hop. But there was no way he could have caught that.
If there's any good news, I think we saw Hunter Cullen in the dugout earlier. He's standing on both of his feet. So hopefully the injury was just minor, and he can get back there out on the field. First pitch from Vail to Adams is a ball way outside. Count at 1-0 with one out. Runner on first and Erickson on the single. Adams is 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a fly out to Meggs in center. Vail from the belt, the 1-0. Ground ball to Gould, and he won't be able to make the play. Long wasn't able to make the play. It was a sharp ground ball over on the third base side in between Long and Gould at third and shortstop. So now there will be runners on first and second with one out.
You know, over the years, the Otters have had some pretty good baseball players.
Right.
And you talk about Hunter in center, and there was Chris Sweeney there, and you got Ryan Long there at third, and Steve Marino, one of the coaches for the minors, was one of our third basemen. And overall, we've had some pretty good baseball players.
Ground ball fielded to Gould at short, over to second for one, to first, in time for the 6-4-3 double play. Otters get out of the jam as we head to the bottom of the fifth. 7-2 Wild Things to score. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. First pitch, David Cronin. He shows bunt, and this will go foul. Cronin quick out of that batter's box, Bill. Count at 0-1. Cronin is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Got the Otters on the board and later on scored a run. Back in the third. We're in the top of the fifth, or bottom of the fifth. And the 0-1 to Cronin. Bunt down the first base side.
Base hit.
As the pitcher, Havard, didn't get there in time. The second baseman, Hughes, was playing back on the edge of the outfield grass. And Cronin is 2 for 2.
Well, that's smart baseball, and like I say, you see a weakness and you take advantage of it, and that is heads-up baseball. I played with a gentleman. I was only like 14, 15. I was playing in the senior baseball league, city league, and there was a guy, Pope Zebro, his name was, and he must have weighed 220. He would do that every time.
Grieshaber, fly ball caught by Franco as he makes an acrobatic Jeter-esque catch for the first out of the inning. If that ball gets over Franco's head, that rolls all the way to the wall on the left field side, and Cronin is at least on third base with his speed. Probably scores.
Did he not, and I stand to be corrected, did he not, Franco, rob Keith last night on the same thing?
Yes.
Identical. Elite tie, and robbed him of a double.
One away with Ryan Long at the plate. First pitch to Long is way outside. Count at 1-0. And if we remember, Bill, Ryan was involved in that unusual play where, according to the umpires, that he was interfering with the throwing lane.
Right. He was not running in the runner's lane. He was running inside the field.
Got it. So he didn't run inside the base path.
Right. He should have ran in between the two lines that are established there. If you notice, there's no second line on third, just on first, just for that particular reason.
He has a 2-0 count, and the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Count now at 2-1. I don't know if Long probably didn't. I don't know if his head was looking at the ball all the way through on that particular pitch. Good job by Havard as he's in his 5th inning of work.
Now, if you notice, I'm going to go to this in a second. Oh, my.
Cronin steals, throw down to second base.
He's out.
He is safe.
How he got safe, I don't know. And if you look at the first baseman putting his hands on his head, he must have.
Cronin got a decent jump.
Oh, he got a great jump, but the catcher had a great throw, too.
Herbert's got a gun behind home plate.
Yes, he does.
So now runner in scoring position for the Otters with 1 out. 2-2 the count to Ryan Long. Havard had a bit of trouble back in the 3rd and 4th innings. Swing and a miss. Long strikes out, and there are 2 away. It'll bring up Dakota Phillips, who had an RBI single his last time up. Phillips, the man from Nacogdoches, Texas. Man I coined as the Iron Man of this baseball team. First pitch to Phillips is low and away for a ball. Count at 1-0. Cronin at second base. 7-2 the score. Wild Things have 7 runs on 12 hits. Those 7 runs were scored in the 1st and 2nd innings, respectively. Havard will step off the bag as Cronin is being shadowed by the shortstop, Marr, getting into the head of Havard, the pitcher. Checks second base. The 1-0 foul down the third base side into the seats and out of play. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs. Otters have 2 runs on 5 hits. Those 2 runs were scored in the 3rd when they at one point had the bases loaded, no outs. They were able to get 2 across the plate. That was important. They didn't want to get out of that inning without any runs scored. The 1-1. Foul behind the plate once more. Count will move to 1-2.
You know, I've noticed several, now I won't mention names, but I've noticed several of our ball players, when they swing, they don't break their wrists. They've got a full swing in there, and it's not a fluid swing. And I think that's one of the reasons they're missing so many pitches. They're not breaking their wrists.
The 1-2 to Phillips. Fly ball. That will be deep and caught at the warning track at the wall and center field by the center fielder, Jenko. And that won the inning. Cronin was left at second base.
You can't hit him any further than that. Pride State, Indiana. Ride safe in Indiana. And that was right under the scoreboard, at least 390 feet.
We head to the top of the sixth. 7-2 Wild Things the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We have reached nightfall here at Bosse Field. Otters down by a score of 7-2 as we enter the top of the sixth.
And if the rain was to come, which we hope it doesn't, this would be an official ball game.
So, because
we're full innings.
5? Okay. Leading off will be the center fielder, Sage Jenko, who is 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored back in the second. First pitch from Vail as Jenko shows bunt, fielded cleanly by Long, throws it over to Castro, but he did not tag the bag. There's a wild throw there by Long. He played it well, ran up to make the play, and the throw to Castro was going to be over the head of Castro, so Carlos was jumping and was able to catch the ball, kept the ball in the infield, but sadly that'll be an error charged to Ryan Long, and it'll be at least the third time that there would be a base runner to lead off the inning for the Wild Things.
Why Long, why Ryan double pumped, I don't know. That's ooh.
Runner goes. First pitch is a ball, and Calabrese uses his arm to get out Jenko at second. 2-4 on that one.
And there's a case of the runner beating the throw, but the umpire called him out, and then on Cronin, I don't understand it.
Well, the pitch was a ball.
Yeah.
So count will be 1-0, but now there's one out. A good throw there by Calabrese down to Cronin at second.
You know, the one thing, Dave, we never see up here, and the fans never see, be a perfect throw and a perfect tag. However, it might be that the fielder dropped the ball or something. There's so many little things that we can't see that the umpire's standing right over you, and he calls it. But anyway, 1 out. Great throw.
So Franco remains the batter. He's got a 1-0 count with 1 out now after the throw down from home plate to second base. Good connection there between Calabrese and Cronin. Fly ball, center field. Meggs will step up and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
That's his second flyout.
Back-to-back flyouts, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
He was 2 for 2, and then back-to-back flyouts to center field.
Yeah, to center.
Going to bring up Shane Hughes, who is 2 for 3, had 2 singles as well, 2 runs scored. He struck out last time in the fourth. First pitch from Vail, ground ball, foul down the first base side. Count at 0-1. Well, tomorrow will be Bud Light Thirsty Thursday, as well as fireworks.
The first Thursday that they had that, was it dollar beer or something like that?
I think it's discounted Bud Light drafts. I don't know about dollar beers, but... Before, 3 singles on the day. It'll bring up Hector Roa, the man from Camden, New Jersey. He is 2 for 3 with a strikeout, but he has a first single and a double. I don't know about you, I've never seen a cycle live. Have you ever seen a cycle hit before?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I think the hardest one out of the 4 is the triple, right?
Yes.
First pitch to Roa, swing and a miss for strike 1.
I think 2 years ago we had Josh Allen, who had
he was a
he
doubles
had a home
machine,
run,
right?
a triple, a single, and he come up and instead of double, I think he ended up with 2 triples. He should have stayed at second.
Swing and a miss, and that ball will eventually go foul behind the plate.
Now,
count now quickly at 0-2.
I may be wrong in that, but I know Mr. Bussing, the owner of the Otters, he's listening, and if I'm wrong, you'll find out. He'll be calling in and telling me I'm wrong.
Always a pleasure to see Mr. Bussing.
Oh, yeah.
Saw him on his Memorial Day. The 0-2. Chopper will go behind the plate and into the dugout, foul on the third base side. Runner on first, 7-2 Wild Things to score. They scored their 7 runs in the first 2 innings. Otters scored 2 back in the third.
Yeah, 7 runs in the first inning with 10 hits.
They have a total of 13 today.
And I believe 5 or 6 consecutive hits.
Yeah, I think it was 6 straight singles. Check swing, and it'll be a strikeout, and Vail gets the Otters out of the inning. Runner stranded at first in Hughes as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 7-2 Otters the score. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Carlos Castro to the plate. Havard, the pitcher, has pitched very well. John Havard, the lefty. First pitch to Castro. Swing and a miss for strike one.
Again, he's so far away from the plate, and he goes after those outside pitches.
The 0-1. Ground ball. Third baseman Franco goes over to shortstop to make the catch.
Did he make it?
And he is out.
What a play.
Acrobatic play on the catch by Fernandez to field the ground ball to first in time. Really overstretched his legs and eventually falling to his backside, but out number one.
But how about the throw? Outstanding. It was a bullet. I'll tell you what, the Frontier League has some pretty good ball players, and it's entertaining, and free at nighttime. Come on out and see the Otters in Otterville.
That's right. Calabrese to the plate. He reached on an error his last time up. Got all the way to third, but failed to score. First pitch to Calabrese is a ball. Count moving to 1-0.
I'll tell you, Mr. Franco down there at third is playing a great defensive series here.
That's right. Next pitch to Calabrese is a called strike on the inside corner. Count moving to 1-1 with one out.
He's robbed several Otter players from base hits.
As the pitcher, Havard, will step off the mound briefly. Let's see, his favorite TV show, Game of Thrones. I don't know if you have HBO, but...
No, I don't watch that HBO. But
okay. It's probably the most popular TV show as of recent. The 1-1. Ground ball to third. Franco feels the ground ball, throws a rifle down to first base in time for out number two. He threw that one on a line.
I know. Yeah, I don't watch HBO because of the movies they used to have.
Okay.
But at the same time, AT&T bought
HBO?
the rights to HBO.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a smart move on their part.
I think it was Warner Brothers or something like that.
First pitch to Mitchell Hansen is a pitch low in the dirt for a ball. Mitchell is 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out to the pitcher and a strikeout. The 1-0. Ground ball past the pitcher, fielded by Marr, the shortstop, and will throw over to first to Fernandez in time for the 6-3 putout. And that will end the inning. Otters go down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the seventh. 7-2. Wild Things to score. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball.
Did I sign it?
On 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
And Bill McCune on the call. As we get a new pitcher for the Otters, it'll be a wow call to the bullpen. As we noted earlier, WOW is the internet, TV, and phone provider for Evansville. It is your hometown provider for internet service. Internet, TV, and phone call to the bullpen. Matt Rowland on the mound, the man from Marietta, Georgia. Vale's night is done. Vail pitched excellent out of the bullpen. Vail 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 walk, but 4 strikeouts.
Yep.
To the plate will be the first baseman Fernandez, who has made some acrobatic plays in the field. First pitch to Fernandez, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Roland has a good fastball and I believe a good slider. The 0-1 from Vail. Called strike on the outside corner. Count now quickly to 0-2 to Fernandez. Fernandez is 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. Roland will step off the mound to readjust. Standing on the left side of the rubber. The 0-2. Fly ball, and that will drop for a base hit.
He's got 3 hits for the night.
3 for 4.
Yeah.
Fernandez, 2 of them singles. And we'll bring up Lucas Herbert, the catcher, who has played well today. He has a single. He also has a strikeout and a ground out, but much better than yesterday. Excuse me, Fernandez. My apologies. First pitch to Fernandez is a called strike. Owen won the count. Runner on first. Next pitch is low in the dirt.
It looked like a sinker ball. It had that movement of coming in and then dropping.
No, I'm right. It is Lucas Herbert. Lucas Herbert is at the plate. There needs to be a switch on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Sometimes they...
The 1-1 is inside for a ball. Count now at 2-1 to Herbert.
Sometimes the scoreboards are wrong.
Sometimes. Roland on the left side of the rubber, the 2-1. High and inside for a ball. Count moving to 3-1.
I think you mentioned you had some problems with some scoreboards in River City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, their setup was quite interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
The 3-1, high for ball 4, and runners now on first and second for the Wild Things. Walk by Herbert, single from, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Cody Erickson. Erickson had a sac fly in the first, walked in the second, had a single in the fifth, advanced to second base. Roland, a native of Marietta, Georgia, pitched in the Atlanta Braves organization last year. First pitch from Roland is a called strike on the inside corner. Count moving 0-1 to Cody Erickson. Pitching with the Danville Braves, one of their single-A affiliates.
I think that's Danville, Illinois, if I'm not mistaken.
Danville, Georgia.
Danville, Georgia?
Yep.
Okay.
The 0-1. Ground ball fouled on the third base side. Count now quickly to 0-2 to Erickson. So tomorrow we encourage the fans to come out not only because it's Thirsty Thursday, but also the first fireworks show at Bossy Field.
Oh, yes.
So I see we had a lot of moms and dads and children here at Bossy Field, and I know they'd enjoy that for tomorrow night.
Yep. Thirsty Thursday.
The 0-2 from Roland. Ooh. At one point I thought that would be a strike. Instead it's a ball.
Yeah.
Count at 1-2. It was right around the outside corner of the plate, the lower right half. You check the runner at second. The 1-2 behind Calabrese, and the runners will advance.
That is what you call a wild pitch. There's no doubt about that. That is a wild pitch.
So now runners on second and third with no outs. Double play not in effect.
Right.
Last time we saw Roland was against the Rascals on Sunday in that inning where the Rascals came back scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to win. Fly ball over the head of Ryan Long. That'll be a base hit down the third base line. Rolling all the way to the wall. 2 runs will score. And into second base with a 2-run RBI double is Erickson.
I tell you what, they are putting on a offensive show. 15 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4.
9 runs on 15 hits. If my eyes are reading the scoreboard out in left center field correctly.
Yeah, and that's, to me, I was just checking, that's 4 doubles. 15 hits and 4 doubles. No home runs, but doubles. And each time they bring in RBIs.
Bring up the designated hitter, Blake Adams. Or excuse me, the left fielder, Blake Adams. First pitch to Adams is a called strike.
That was a sinker. He throws a sinker.
Count at 0-1, and Calabrese will walk out there to try to settle down Roland. So, Bill, it's just been one of those days where the Otters, their offense didn't show up early. Nicely just did not find the strike zone all too well. He didn't really pitch around any of the batters. They were able to get onto him early. They jumped on first pitch, second pitch strikes. In the first inning, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive singles that scored their 3 runs.
Psychologically, the Otters were in trouble in the first inning.
Next pitch from Vail is a called strike on the inside corner. Count moving to 0-2. No outs, a runner on second base.
You know, sometimes as a everyday player, you're out in the field and you see things like that and you say, what am I doing out here? I mean, you know.
The 0-2. Low in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 1-2.
Every time he tries to throw that pitch for a strike 3, you notice he overthrows. And they're wild. Throw natural.
The 1-2. Fly ball in the infield. Castro waving off Roland. Backs up and will not make the catch. And that will be ruled an error on Carlos Castro. So runners now on first and second. No outs with Brett Maher, the shortstop, at the plate. Maher entering his second season with the Wild Things. One of 4 position players returning from their playoff team last year. The first pitch to Maher, swing and a miss for strike 1. Maher, he led the division series late last year. He landed on the DL late last year with a broken hand after he hit .268 with 30 RBIs, 8 doubles, in 69 games in the East Division Championship season. The 0-1 is low and away for a ball. Count now at 1-1.
Well, they just changed it now. The scoreboard, if you had looked up on the scoreboard, you would again made the wrong mistake. They just corrected it right now. That's twice in the sitting.
Count even at 1. The pitch. Fastball. Outside. Count now at 2-1. Maher will be playing his 3rd season of professional baseball. Prior to joining the Wild Things, he played for the Sioux Fall Canaries of the American Association. Fly ball, right field, and all the way foul into the Otters bullpen down the right field line.
And the runner on first base, Erickson, was taken off and running and more or less forcing the runner on second to go to third, and that ball was foul by 3 miles.
Got to keep your head in the game, right?
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, probably 2 outs, and he was, I don't know.
2-2. Ball outside.
See that?
Count now full. Might have some action in the Otters bullpen. Can't tell who it is right now, but we'll get to that when it occurs. The 3-2.
Strike 3.
Called strike 3 right on the outside corner and out number 1. That'll bring out the top of the order. And Sage Jenko, the batter. Jenko is 1 for 4. He reached, or 1 for 3, reached on an error in the 6th, and then was thrown out by Rob Calabrese. We'll have a pitching change. We'll come right back. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen here on the call. New pitcher for the Otters, the newly acquired Brandon Presley.
What do you mean newly acquired?
We acquired him yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. What?
And, you know, after it was official today that Lane was signed by the Mets, the Otters decided to add a pitcher, and Presley is a lefty.
And where's he from and what's what?
I got to get more information from that, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Our man Preston has some info about him. Brandon Presley, 6'7", 215, from Key West, Florida. He last pitched with the Helena Braves. I believe the Helena Braves are in the Milwaukee organization. Presley facing his first action in Frontier League play.
It was the Brewers, Helena Brewers. That's Washington or out west anyway.
Got it.
Yeah.
Runners on first and second with 1 out. First pitch from the lefty, Presley. The called strike.
Oh, was he the one that was working out today or something? Or
I don't think so. I don't
wasn't there someone trying out today?
I don't know for sure.
Oh.
The 0-1.
Curveball. Nice.
Called strike 2.
Nice curveball.
Stands tall right there on the mound. Never seen 6'7" in person.
Yeah.
The 0-2 from Presley. That'll be a ball high. Count at 1-2. Runners on first and second. Score at 9-2.
When I was coaching out there in Clinton, Iowa, Asheville University.
The 1-2 swing and a miss, and Presley has his first strikeout as an Otter.
Yeah. I had the center for the basketball team was 6'7", 6'8".
Oh, yeah.
So I asked him, I said, "Did you ever play baseball?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, why don't you come on out and try out?" So I signed him, figuring that, my God, at that size, he'd be intimidating, just coming. Oh, if he threw 70 miles an hour, he was lucky.
Oh, really?
Ended up, I put him on first base.
First pitch is a called strike.
But he was a good kid anyway. I gambled and I lost.
Count now at 0-1 to Franco, the third baseman, who's 2 for 2. He had 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and then back-to-back flyouts to center field. 1-1 now the count. Presley looking to get the Otters out of this inning. The 1-1, swing and a miss.
Okay, he's got
Strike two.
He's got a pretty good breaking pitch. Now, I don't know how many pitches he's thrown, but I'm going to say if he threw seven, I was going to say 9. Most of them have all been strikes.
5 of the 7.
Yeah.
Count at 1-2 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The 1-2 for Presley. Fly ball, right center field, then it'll drop for a base hit. Rounding third and scoring will be Erickson. And that will be another RBI single. The Washington Wild Things now have 10 runs in the game.
And that run is charged to the pitcher before.
Roland. 3 runs in this inning.
Yeah.
Adams, who was on first, heads the third. And on first with a 3 for 4 day, or 3 for 5 day, excuse me, is Franco. To bring up Shane Hughes, the second baseman, and that pitch hit him. So now, with 2 outs, the bases are loaded on the hit by pitch from Presley.
And I've noticed Presley, most of his pitch or throws have been breaking pitches. That one there was a curveball. The one that got the base hit was a hanging curveball. So he's got a pretty good breaking pitch, and he's utilizing it.
This will be the 9th batter of the inning, as Alex Gould, our great scorekeeper, came over to let us know. So in a way, the Wild Things, if they get to another batter, they would have batted around in the inning. 0-1 the count to Roa. 2 for 4, 2 singles, or single, double, and 2 strikeouts.
There's that pitch. I tell you what.
Quickly an 0-2 count.
Yeah, he may have given up a hit and a run, but I tell you, so far, he's impressed me. He's throwing strikes. He's got a good breaking pitch. He might be what they need.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes. And Roa calls time. Presley checks the runner at first. The 0-2 low in the dirt for a ball.
That was his fastball.
Count at 1-2. Standing on the left side of the rubber. Clear night. Wild Things have 10 runs on 16 hits. The 1-2 low in the dirt. Count now even at 2. Otters have 2 runs on 5 hits.
And 2 errors.
Well, both teams have an error, according to my computer.
Well, yeah, they have an error, but then you had Ryan made the error on the throw, and then you had Castro making the error on the fly ball.
That's right. Been one of those games, Bill. The 2-2. Foul ball in front of the catcher, Calabrese, on the first base side. Count will remain even at 2. Bases loaded. The Wild Things started this game in the first 2 innings, scoring 7 runs on 10 hits. The Otters fell behind quickly.
Oh, I'll say. I'll say.
The 2-2. Be a ball.
Yeah.
That was away. Count now full with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
So we have used Nicely. Then we had Vail. Then we had Roland. And
Presley.
Presley now.
The 3-2. Ground ball over to Ryan Long. Throws it over to first in time.
That's it.
To end the inning. 9 men sent to the plate. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here in Bossy Field.
Time for Zane to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
10-2 the score in favor of Washington. And you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Visit EvansvilleBlues.com.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. New pitcher for the Wild Things as Havard's night is done. He's in line for the win. Pitched very well. To the new pitcher will be Josh Lapiana. Has an 0-1 count to Jack Meggs. The next pitch is a foul ball behind the catcher, Herbert. Count will go to 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. Pitch is high and away for a ball. Count at 1-2. You remember Ricky Henderson?
I'm sorry?
Do you remember Ricky Henderson, the base stealer?
Oh, heck yes, I do.
Today in 1990, swing and a miss from Meggs, and that'll be strike number 1, or out number 1.
He still holds the record, I think, for
steals.
Leadoff batter hitting the most home runs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, today in 1990, he stole his 893rd base, and the Oakland Athletics 2-1 loss to the Blue Jays.
All right. He was the one that made famous for a fly ball. He would swap at it, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, he'd put the glove and slam it down. And a couple times the ball came out.
First pitch to J.J. Gould is inside for a ball.
Yeah, he was playing after his major league career, or partial major league career was over.
The 1-0 is low and away.
He was playing for the Jersey City team in another independent league like this, and the next thing you know, he was back in the majors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so someone bought him.
The 2-0 to Gould is a called strike on the outside corner, moving the count to 2-1. 3 runs were scored by the Wild Things in the top of the 7th, extending their lead to 10-3. Next pitch to JJ is away for a ball. Count moving to 3-1. 10-2, excuse me.
At Somerset, is in that independent league. And
Yep, the Somerset Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. And we have sent
ball 4 to J.J. Gould, and he'll get on with a walk.
The Otters more or less have a working agreement with them that many of our Otter players have ended up being traded to them or sold to them or whatever. So
their broadcaster recently got on ESPN.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so he caught a foul ball in the broadcaster's booth and had a pretty good call. He goes, foul ball to the broadcaster's booth. I catch the baseball, and I throw it back to the fan. Good play there by me as Cronin lines this one down the third base line. That'll be a base hit. A single for David Cronin.
It's his third hit of the game.
Hit and third single, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's his parents in outside of what, Chicago?
Yep, Orland Park. Very nice middle-class neighborhood.
Yes. Well, nice parents as well.
Yes. And he's got a little puppy, too. Keith Grieshaber to the plate. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. First pitch to Keith is a foul ball. Counted 0-1. So the rubber match of this 3-game series will be tomorrow, right here, 6:35.
9-5. 1,400 people here tonight.
First pitch, next pitch to Keith Grieshaber is a called strike, moving the count to 0-2. As Zane Clodfelter, the PA announcer, was nice enough to tell us that there was a 1,395 attendance tonight. Thank you to all who came out to see the Otters. The 0-2, swing and a miss, and that'll be 2 away here in the 7th.
Keith was still at the station when the bus left.
That'll bring up Ryan Long. He had a single in the first on that bunt single. Then he got caught in that interference in the third and struck out in the 5th. Long with 16 RBIs coming into this game, as well as 5 home runs. First pitch to the Crandall, Texas native is low and away for a ball. Count moving to 1-0.
He leads the team in home runs and RBIs, I believe. Got the most RBIs.
Yes. Called strike on the inside corner. Count now even at 1 to Long. Otters 2 runs on 6 hits, falling behind by a score of 7-0 after the first 2 innings. The 1-1 called low for a ball. Count now at 2-1 from the pitcher, Lapeana.
I'm going to say this is a fastball, and Ryan's going to swing at it.
The 2-1. Fly ball, left field. And that will drop in front of the left fielder, Adams, who was there to at least make the catch in the bullpen area for the Wild Things.
I don't know.
And there'll be a long foul ball.
I don't know what happened. He was there unless he was watching his footing, because that's where the pitcher's mound is. So maybe he did a tap dance. But anyway, Ryan gets a second chance.
2-2 the count with 2 outs. Otters down 10-3. Runners on first and second. The 2-2 to Long. That will be lifted in the air to right field, all the way to the wall in right center. That will be an RBI double for Ryan Long. 10-3 Wild Things. Long with his 17th RBI on the season.
Yeah.
Scores Gould from second base. Cronin moves to third. And it'll bring up Dakota Phillips. Playing DH tonight. Played first base last night. Played catcher as well. The Texas native. And former assistant. Strength and conditioning assistant for LSU. The first pitch to Phillips is a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed batter, Dakota Phillips. Lefty on righty matchup, the 0-1. Fly ball.
It's gone.
Right field. And Roa will make the catch for the final outs.
I thought that was gone. About the wind. Look at that flag. Wind held that one up.
We head to the top of the 8th. Otters put a run on the board, but they're down by a score at 10-3. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters have another call to the bullpen. This is a WOW Internet, TV, and phone call to the bullpen. WOW TV and Internet offers the best double play deal in Evansville. P.J. Brown, the New England native, on the mound for the Otters.
Rutland, Mass. I don't know where that is.
That's outside of Boston.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Suburb?
Suburb of Boston.
Suburb of Boston.
First pitch from Brown is a foul ball off the hip of the batter, Fernandez. And he goes down on a knee. We hope he's all right.
You know, when I was scouting in the major leagues, Dave, Boston was one of my favorite spots. I would, at least 3 times a year, I would schedule going in to Boston for 6 days. And I loved it. I stayed at the Marriott in Copley Square, walked to the ballpark, loved to go down to Chinatown. Anyway, there was a department store in there, Finley's or something like that, that if you went upstairs and the suit was selling for $200 and it didn't sell, then they moved it down to their basement and it'd go for $100. And if it didn't sell within a week, it was $50. And it didn't sell within the next week, it was $25. And I bought several items there. Yeah. Good food, good seafood.
Known for their clam chowder up there.
Yeah. Oh, right up the street from the Copley, there was an Irish bar. And I would go there, and it was $2.50 for a big bowl of
clam chowder?
Of clam chowder, the white clam chowder, New England clam chowder.
Right.
And then I'd order steak, and, you know, how dumb I am. Every time I do it, I could hardly finish the steak because the bowl of clam chowder was so big, I'd be filled. But I was dumb.
No, I'd say you were just you made a mistake, that's all.
Yeah, I know, but I did it constantly.
0-1 the count. Looks like the batter, Fernandez, is going to be all right.
Yeah.
The pitch from Brown, foul ball, down the first base side now to play, and Fernandez is walking around trying to straighten things out. It looked like he fouled it right off his hip, and I haven't had a hip injury before, but got to hurt at least a little bit.
Well, you be an Oriole. You throw a little dirt on it, and you just keep playing.
There you go. Oriole, right?
Oriole.
The 0-2, low and away for a ball. Count now 1-2. See, today in 1990, the New York Mets, they fired Davey Johnson as their manager, and they hired Bud Harrelson. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and a strikeout recorded by P.J. Brown for out number 1.
Davey Johnson used to play second base for Baltimore and was quite a home run hitter for a second baseman. But if you ever saw him, he had the body of a weightlifter. He was strong.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he played for the Phillies at one point.
Well, he made his name at second base for Baltimore.
Okay.
I met him on several occasions. I didn't deal with him, but a lot of those managers I used to sit and, talk trade. Chuck Tanner, who played here, was one of my favorites.
0-1 the count to the catcher, Herbert. Next pitch is a ball. Count now even at 1 with 1 out. The other thing about Boston is, have you ever been to Cheers, the bar where they filmed the TV show?
Yes, I went there. Yes, downstairs.
Yes.
Yes.
The 1-1. Behind the catcher, Calabrese, will be called a ball.
I've been to North Tower, and I went to the Constitution, which is parked outside, and I used to go to the stadium where the Celtics played.
Oh, yeah, the old Boston Garden.
The old Boston Garden, yeah. And it was down the Italian area. Good food there in the Italian area.
I would hope so. The 2-1, that will be lifted in the air and dropped for a base hit, rolling all the way to the wall in left center. Maggs will...
Ooh, look at that throw. Ooh, my goodness.
Launch that one out there in left center field, and it will remain a single.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the designated hitter, Erickson. Cody Erickson. Cody Erickson has a single, a double, a run scored, and a sac fly back in the first, as well as a walk. First pitch is a ball low and away. Count it 1-0.
I'll just finish with this. Fenway Park
one of the best I've
in
ever
Boston had one of the best press room food that you would go.
The 1-0. Called a strike on the outside corner. Count moving to 1-1.
And the scouts in the press, we could have fresh lobster, shrimp. Oh, and Mrs. Yorkie would sit over at the table and we'd just say, "Hello, Mrs. Yorkie."
Fly ball, center field, and it will drop in front of Meggs. And now runners are first and second with 1 out for the Wild Things.
That is Mr. Erickson's third hit. I tell you.
Yep, 3 straight hits, 2 singles, the double, and then the walk and the sac fly.
Hughes has got 3 hits. Rowa's got 3 hits. Fernandez has got 3 hits. Erickson's got 3. My God, 3 hits, 3 hits, 3 hits. 18 hits.
Bring up Blake Adams, the left fielder. 10 runs on 18 hits.
Yeah.
First pitch is lifted in the air to left center field and will drop in front of Griesaber. 1 run will score. Heading to third and sliding in safely will be Erickson. An RBI single there for Adams. Herbert comes around from second to score. That'll be the 11th run of the game for the Wild Things.
All right. And the 19th hit.
So now runners on the corners. Here in the top of the 8th, 11-3. Otters had 3 runs on 7 hits, also 2 errors. Bring up Brett Maher, the shortstop. First pitch from Maher. The 2 Mahers, a called strike from Brown. Counted 0-1. Maher, a native of Warrensburg, Missouri. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ball located on the outside corner. Count now quickly to 0-2 to Maher with 1 out. Runners on second and third for the Wild Things. They just scored their 11th run.
Ironically, Calabrese moved in for a low inside pitch and got the ball outside, and he's
fly ball, and that'll drop in front of Grieshaber, a base hit. Rounding third and scoring will be Erickson. It'll be the 12th run of the game for the Wild Things.
And 20th hit.
Be going to third base will be Adams.
Yeah.
And an RBI single for Maher.
And Keith recovered pretty well out there. He was coming in strong, and it must have been the wet field out there. He slipped, but he recovered very quickly and got that ball back into the infield and held up the runner.
So Alex, our scorekeeper, has just notified everyone in the Washington Wild Things lineup has at least 1 hit. First pitch is a strike.
Well, Maher hasn't.
He's on first with a single.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
you're right.
Who's
You're
on
right.
first? What's on second?
All right.
I don't know who's on third.
Yeah, I got carried away here with 20 hits and 12 runs.
They're good. Janko to the plate. He's got a 1-1 count.
And they came in late. They didn't need batting practice. They're having batting practice here.
The 1-1 pitch from Brown. Foul ball.
Let's hope that all these runs that Washington is scoring and all the hits they're getting tomorrow night, they don't get anything.
Well, we got a good guy on the mound tomorrow night in Randy Wynn.
Oh, Randy's pitching tomorrow night?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Good. One of the better pitchers in the league. We've got 2 of the best pitchers, Randy and the Irishman, Patty.
Well, when I was out in Windy City, the 1-2, ground ball, playable. Castro throws to second for 1, and that's all they'll get.
Another run scores.
Adams will come around from third to score.
13.
Maher out at second. There'll be a fielder's choice by Jenko.
Right. So what were you going to say about Windy City, or was it River City?
I went out to, when I saw the Otters play in Windy City, they had a hurler named by the guy of Adam Oler, who was throwing a 2-hitter against the Otters through 7. He just got picked up by the Giants.
Oh, really?
Yep.
There's an awful lot of good ball players in this league, and, ironically, there are several ball players that have played in the Frontier League, especially even with the Otters, who have gone on to pitch in the or play in the majors.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good stepping stone. Got a good future here. Evansville's probably the premier team in the league.
Ground ball to Gould. Flips it over to Cronin at second for the final out of the inning.
Yeah. Put me in, Coach.
Are you ready to play, Bill?
I'll stop this rally.
We're gonna go. You gonna go out there to center field?
No, I was shortstop.
Okay. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Otters down 13-3. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just 1 room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball.
Ooh, we got
first pitch to Castro.
I think he got hit.
Ducked out of the way.
Oh, he got away.
Appeared at one point that he got hit.
Right.
Instead, it'll be a ball.
You see now, he should have stayed there and took it off his leg, his thigh.
Taking one for the team.
Then, yeah, you take it for the team. That's right.
Instead, it's 1-0 to Carlos, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Native of La Romana of the Dominican Republic. Next pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 2, or strike 1. That was a high ball. That was high and away.
Yeah. Yeah, Carlos likes the low outside pitches.
The 1-1.
Right there.
Low and away, this time for a strike.
Yeah.
Right on the outside corner. Count now at 1-2.
Yeah.
Be Castro, Calabrese, and Hansen for the Otters. The 1-2. Fly ball foul down the first base side and out of play. So back to what we were talking about earlier. You are correct that Randy is one of the better pitchers in the league. But I think, between McGuff and the guy Oler I saw in Windy City, there's a lot of talent out there in the Frontier League.
Well, it all depends upon the scouts who are there. You could have some of the best high school, college players, and if they're not scouted, they're never going to sign. Now you take where you live and I live back in Jersey.
2-2, a cold strike 3 on the outside corner. Carlos will go down looking and out number 1.
It was a scout's haven to the metropolitan New York, Philadelphia area. You had more scouts. You'd go to a game, you could have 30, 40 scouts there. And you go to some other game, and you could have a major leaguer, and no one knows about him.
Right. Bring up Rob Calabrese, the catcher. Rob reached on an error back in the 4th and got all the way to 3rd. Sadly, did not score. First pitch to Calabrese is a ball inside. Count at 1-0.
One of the areas that's really it's scouted but not really good is the New England area. There's not that many players.
Fly ball, left field, and this is out of here. Second home run.
No, it isn't. It's a double. It ricocheted off the wall.
Did it? All right. I got too excited.
It looked like it was going to. You were misled, Dave, by watching the outfielder run as hard as he could and then looking up, which, again, he did not make any effort to reach up and make the catch. It just ricocheted off the top of the Budweiser sign out there.
Hansen ground ball to second base. Throws it over to first in time for the out. Calabrese moves over to third.
And that was what misleading to you because, again, both players were kind of
no, he just stood there.
They were motionless and then finally bent down and picked the ball up and threw it back in the infield. Now, I'm quite sure that 99% of the fans here thought the ball was over the fence as well. So Again, those ball players misled you and others.
All right, we'll bring up Jack Meggs. First pitch is a foul down the third base side, now to play. Meggs from Sammamish, Washington. Attended the University of Washington. Sammamish located a suburb of Seattle. The 0-1. Ball outside. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs. Calabrese at third.
The Padres had a farm club in Spokane, and Bruce Bucci, when he finished his major league career, was our manager there and won, I think, 3 years in a row, won the pennant. And later, I think he's managing in the majors with the Padres and now with the Giants, and I think he won a couple World Series. Yeah, Bruce Bucci.
The 2-1, swing and a miss. That count will be even at 2.
Yeah. Bruce was born, I think, in Germany. He was the son of a military army gentleman or soldier.
The 2-2. Ball outside. Count moves full. Calabrese at third. Gould on deck. The full count pitch is a foul ball behind the catcher. First pitch tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. right here at Bossy Field.
And let's hope the score is different, the winner is different, and the crowd's a little more enthusiastic in supporting the Otters.
Yeah, kind of hard to rally behind when you're down 7 runs after 2.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch is foul once more.
You know, it's like a basketball game when one team's got 80 points and the other
20.
team's got 40, and you say, "Oh my, what's the sense of playing?"
Well, in that particular scenario, you'll put the bench guys who never really get a chance to play. That's what you do.
Yeah.
In that situation, for the winning team, that is.
Well, no, that's right.
Calabrese on third, 3-2. Ball 4. Meggs, second time he's on base today. He reached on a hit by pitch back in the third. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up J.J. Gould, the shortstop.
You know, we were playing Burlington, Iowa in the 3I League here. Pinky May was the manager. I caught a foul tip off the finger. Oh, I just about could throw the ball back to the pitcher. And we were losing by 13-1 or something. And Pinky never stole any bases. And later at the hotel, the Vendome Hotel, which is Fifth Third Bank downtown, and I said to him, "Thank you for not stealing," because I couldn't throw the second. He said no.
J.J. flies this one to right center field, and that will roll to the wall. Calabrese will score from third. And standing on second base with an RBI double is J.J. Gould.
Yeah, Gould.
4th run of the game for the Otters.
Yeah, that's his first hit, right? That's Gould's first hit tonight.
RBI double for J.J. Going to bring up David Cronin, who, after grounding out in the first, had a single and a run, scored in the third, single in the 5th, and a single in the 7th.
Yeah, a beautiful bunt, or if you want to call it a drag bunt. Made the second baseman come in all the way.
It's called strike to Cronin on the outside corner. Count moving to 0-1 with 2 outs.
As long as you can get it by that pitcher. Here goes some loyal fans, and they are loyal.
The 0-1 is foul and out of play. Count quickly to 0-2.
A host family, those folks right now. They're the. I know they generally have 2 or 3 ball players each and every year, and they
really?
are and they are good hosts, and they're here. They sit here all the time, and and I enjoyed him.
Oh. Bill, you're a very popular man.
Yeah, well.
Next pitch is a ball. Count it 1-2.
I've been around here too long, Dave.
Well, I mean, I think it shows how friendly you are and how genuine of a person you are.
Thank you.
The 1-2. Ground ball, third base side.
It's a base hit.
And it will be a base hit. It's Franco. He fielded the ball in fair territory and decided not to throw.
Well, he had no play. I mean, he couldn't. He was too far away from third to race to third to get the runner going over there. And he was so far off balance. And Roland Cronin was really motoring down that line. So he did the right thing. That's what they say. Put it in your pocket and lock it.
Maggs will come around from third to score. 5th run of the game for the Otters.
Well, you know, I've said it before to you, and I repeat myself. The Otters generally score in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
At least a run.
At least a run, but they will score.
They scored 2. Grieshaber hits this one up the middle for a base hit. RBI single for him. Gould comes around from third to score. It'd be 13-6.
Take away the first and second innings, and the Otters are winning.
Right. If only, right?
Well, it would be, I'm sorry, it'd be 6-6.
All right, we'll bring up Anthony Maselli, who's pinch hitting for Ryan Long. Maselli attended Boston College University.
I wonder why he's pinch hitting for...
I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about one of the premier players in the league.
Guess we want to give him rest for tomorrow, no?
Well, he's at the top of the dugout.
0-1, low in the dirt for a ball. Count now, even at 1. Maselli hit his first home run as an Otter on last Friday against the Rascals. Hit it over the Budweiser scoreboard that was 26 feet high. Called strike to Maselli, and count now at 1-2.
Burlington, Connecticut.
The 1-2, foul and out of play. So makes sense. He's from the New England area, went to a school in the New England area. And
Boston College, yeah.
Boston College, one of the premier academic universities, at least in the Northeast.
And they occupy the old Braves field. That's part of Boston College now.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
The 1-2. Low and away for a ball. Count now even at 2. Randy Wynn tomorrow night. He will be opposed by Nick Wegman.
Oh, Nick Wegman. That name's familiar.
Ground ball.
Hit off his leg.
And will be foul.
Yeah. I saw Boston College play Rutgers University up there.
Baseball?
No, football.
Okay.
It was a Saturday afternoon, and then I went to Fenway to watch
okay. So you made your own day-night doubleheader.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Rutgers University.
2-2. Maselli through the hole, a base hit. Rounding third will be Cronin, and he will score. Otters now with their 7th run of the game. RBI single for Anthony Maselli.
That's the end of that picture.
Yeah, they had a new pitcher, Mr. James Meeker, who I did not recognize in the beginning of the game. So Meeker will have a visit on the mound, and there will be a call to the bullpen. Anthony Maselli with his 2nd RBI of the season. Runners now on 1st and 3rd. Grieshaber at 3rd. Maselli at 1st.
See that
and
hole?
This game's been interesting, at least in this inning in particular. 4 runs scored by the Otters.
That hole that was dug earlier, remember I kept saying, you know, the hole gets too big. It's hard to climb out of it. Now, if that hole wasn't that big, I mean, the Otters now would have climbed out of it and thrown dirt back in. And because they've taken the lead 7-6.
Well, let's see. A 3-run home run would make this game interesting.
Well, you'd still be behind by 3 runs.
But you'd be behind 3 in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, but still, 3 runs. I mean,
we got a new pitcher for the Wild Things. Yeah. We'll get that number. It's number 19, B.J. Sable. B.J. Sable on the mound, number 19.
You know, never give up a chance of win, whether it's the first inning or the 9th inning. You struggle, keep fighting, and don't. You know, as you were talking before about putting the subs in on an 80-40 basketball game, yeah, but at the same time, you don't put all 5 subs in at one time either. You break them in, you know, let this guy play a little and then take that out and put another guy in, but don't put 5 subs in at one time.
So Dakota Phillips will be the 9th batter of the inning for the Otters. They have scored 4 runs. The new pitcher will be Zach Strecker, 6'5" right-hander from Louisville, Kentucky. He played for the Wild Things last year. We want to say, if he's still listening, we want to thank Lucas.
Oh, Lucas? Yeah, I'm quite sure Lucas is probably
falling asleep or involved in other things.
Right. He lives on the Jersey, on the Indiana side across the river from Louisville. I always thought it was New Albany, but it's not. It's some other town. But whatever. Lucas was one of the premier radio announcers in this league, and especially for the Otters.
Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Phillips. 2 outs, men on the corners for the Otters. 13-7 the score. Castro on deck, if we get there. The 0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Boy, he was so faked out. That was a change, and he was so far out in front of that. You know, that's what happens when a change, you know, you're ready to explode, and then
the 0-2 is low in the dirt for a ball.
You know, I can tell you from my own experience, when you see a change, it's like a basketball coming. It's so big, and you just jump all over it, and 99 times out of 100, you miss it.
The last second, right?
Yeah.
The 1-2, low in the dirt.
2-2.
Grieshaber wanted to steal home on that one.
Oh, he better not.
He wanted to.
Yeah, but that didn't get far enough away.
Right, you thought that ball would have bounced behind Herbert, the catcher.
Still, it wouldn't be far enough. It's got to go over by the dugouts.
Count even at 2 with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Swing and a miss. And the inning is over. The Otters send 9 men to the plate. Scoring 4. It's a 13-7 game as we head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
All right, welcome back to Bossy Field. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. The tarp is out on the field.
And we got one girl out there pushing that tarp. Where are all the girls? Equal opportunity.
We give a shout out to Macy, the young lady out there, as we're what appears to be would be a delay.
I mean,
do we want to recap this game?
I tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, the game's over.
Okay.
You ought to call it right now.
I don't make those decisions, Bill.
I mean, we're in the 9th inning. We're down by 6. So you got to what? Wait an hour?
And the rain.
Is it raining now?
It
is.
is.
Yeah, it's raining.
Mother Nature is coming down pretty hard. We will head back to the studio to make a brief recap. The Otters fell down 7-0 after the first 2 innings. The Otters scored 2 in the 3rd and then failed to score until the 7th. In the top of the 7th, the Wild Things scored 3 runs, extending their lead to 10-2. Otters then scored a run in the bottom of the 7th, making the score 10-3. Washington would score 3 runs in the top of the 8th to extend their lead to 13-3. And the bottom of the 8th, the Otters scored 4 runs, sending 9 men to the plate. And now the score is 13-7. The Wild Things have 13 runs on 20 hits and an error. The Otters have 7 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors. Anything you would like to comment as the rain is coming down pretty hard?
It's a washout.
It's a washout? or is it a wipeout?
No, it's a very interesting ball game tonight. You know, again, if we take away those first 2 innings, 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, we could call the game and the Otters would be ahead 7-6.
We want to thank the interns and all the ground crew assistants out there for the Otters. The trucks are on the field to make sure that the tarp does not blow away. We'll head back to the studio. 13-7, Washington. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball. We're currently in a rain delay. Please stay tuned for further updates.
You're into with the other side on 91.5 UEV.
Otters have officially called this game in 8 innings. They lose to the Washington Wild Things by a final score of 13-7. The Wild Things jumped out to a 7-0 lead after 2, and the Otters just couldn't fight back quick enough. In a way, I feel bad for Nicely, the starter, as this was his shortest outing, going 1 1/3, allowing seven runs on 10 hits.
They were all earned 7 hits. 7 runs and 10 hits.
If we go back to the first, after the first out, there were 5 consecutive singles that scored 3 runs, and the third run was scored on a sac fly. And I think the Wild Things were able to jump on strikes early. They were aggressive at the plate, swinging at first pitch strikes, second pitch strikes. They were swinging away, and they were able to lift the ball over J.J. Gould at shortstop into left field in front of Keith Grieshaber. A lot of the early games were hit, early balls, were hit to left field as the wind was blowing in the left center field. The Otters came back, but they came back, scored runs late. They not necessarily came back. They just weren't able to catch up. I think you said earlier, Bill, that psychologically the game was probably over in the second inning. Now they continued to play because they want to play hard for their manager and their coaching staff.
And themselves.
Yeah, and to show that, all right, it's 7-0. We might lose the game, but we're not going to go out without a fight.
Well,
and I think at one point it was close. It was 7-1. There's bases loaded, no outs, and that was the whole play with Ryan Long. But if the Otters scored 2 right there, I think the game is possibly different. The momentum may have flipped in the Otters' favor if they scored 3 or 4 runs in the third instead of only scoring 1.
Right, but what you're saying is if this and if that, and those ifs never work out. It was just a fluke play. Ryan hit a shot, bases were loaded, and Ryan Long hit a shot to first base, and he fielded, the first baseman fielded it beautifully and threw it right home, got the force at home, and then the catcher immediately threw it back to first for the double play.
Right.
However, Ryan, who was running hard to beat the play, not knowing what's going on, and he was running down. Unfortunately, he was in the field of play. Now, there is a base path going to first base. You are supposed to run in that or farther out of bounds. But the minute you run in the field and the catcher hits you with the ball, you're out. Or, in this case, the first baseman was standing on the bag waiting for the ball, and Ryan just deflected it, and that's called interference.
Right.
So
right.
That killed the rally right there.
Right.
I mean, you had the bases loaded, no outs. Now you got 2 outs, and you had runners on first and second.
Right. Well, so we'll look forward to the rubber match tomorrow. Randy Wynn on the mound for the Otters, and Randy earned his first loss of the year last week against River City. In that first game, the momentum in his last start, it was bottom of the second, runners on first and second, but 2 outs. Ground ball to Maselli, fields it on a hop with the sun in his eyes, throws it over to Keith Grieshaber for a double play, and it throws it over his head. That scored a run, and the inning continued. And the Wild Things, the Rascals, the River City Rascals, would score 3 runs in that inning, 2 of them earned, and the Otters could never fight back.
I think Randy had 7 strikeouts in that game as
7
well.
7 strikeouts. His first 3 walks of the year as well.
Right. He pitched well. It's just, again, when you don't get support, I don't care how good you are, if you don't get support, you're going to lose. And unfortunately, Randy suffered a thing. But, tonight, again, I can't say it enough. You go out there as a little kid with a shovel and you dig a little hole. Well, okay, there's a little divot in the ground, but you could put your shoe and push it back. But when you get a crane that digs a big hole, hey, you can't push that dirt back with your shoe. And that's what happened tonight. If you notice, when Washington got a little trouble there. There was like 2 or 3 hits, and they scored a run. And the other team, Washington, there was someone warming up real quick, and that manager ran out to that mound, had a little chalk, and boom, he stayed in. But there was someone ready. I bet if the next batter had gotten on, that would have been the end of that pitcher.
Right.
And that's the way to play the game. You gotta, you can't. I was going to say it earlier. I was a catcher, and you got a manager comes out, and he'd say to the pitcher, "How you feel?" "Oh, I can do it, Skip. I can get him out." "Okay." Well, next thing you know, bang, 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 and we're 4 or 5 runs behind. What a manager, a coach should do is you go out to the mound, you grab the catcher, and you say, "How's he doing?" There's no one on the field that knows better how a pitcher is pitching except the catcher. Is his fastball got life? Yes. Is his breaking pitch got a good, bite to it? Yes. If the catcher says no, boom, have someone warm up and get the guy out. Don't say, "Well, if we give him a chance." Forget the ifs. I'm sorry, I took too much time.
No, it's okay. I appreciate your rants because they're important, and I think you just explained it well of what happened, and well, this game will be
history,
and tomorrow, Randy Wynn will be on the mound. He's 2-1 with a 3 ERA, a clean 3 ERA, opposed by Nick Wegman, who's 1-2 with a 3.30 ERA, and it'll be interesting as the Otters will fall to a record of 9-8.
Yeah.
Washington gets their 5th win of the season, and the rubber match will be tomorrow. Now, in a 96-game series or 96-game season, it's all about winning the series, and I think the Otters have a really good chance to do that tomorrow with one of their best pitchers on the mound before they go on a 9-game road trip. They head to Florence, Kentucky, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back home Monday just to pack up before we head to Chicago to face Joliet and Schaumburg. So it's important to get the wins at home.
It's important to get a win anywhere, Dave, and every game is important. You don't concede any game, even when we were 7 points or 7 runs down, 3 in the first, 4 in the second. We still had a chance. The hole was big, but we still had a chance. You don't give up. We used pitcher Vail come in. Did a heck of a job.
Right.
I mean, Vail comes in for what, 2 2/3 inning or something? Didn't give up a hit. Yes, he did. He gave up 2 hits. But he didn't give up any runs. He didn't walk any, and he had like 4 strikeouts.
Right.
Why not keep him in? We bring in another reliever. Boom, boom, another run. We bring in another reliever. Boom, boom, run. Leave Vail out there until he proved he can't do it. I think anyway. I get worked up over things
No,
like
it's okay. So we'll see you and hear from you. Hopefully you tune in either on the Otters Digital Network, on YouTube, or on the radio on 91.5 WUEV. The Otters will take on the Washington Wild Things in Game 3, the rubber match of this 3-game series, before they go on their 9-game road trip. For Bill McCune and Paul Mattingly back in the studio, I'm Dave Nguyen. Thank you for listening to the conclusion of Evansville Otters baseball.